blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out, but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Another day to lose control. There's a fire in my bones. My sight gets blurry, pushing back the tears. Should take a leap of faith and face my fear. I blame it on the voices that are in my head, wondering if they'll ever be put to bed. Feels like I am close to reaching my wit's end, holding out, but I'm about to blow it up like a volcano. Like a volcano. Blow it up like a volcano. What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you're setting free? What you do, what you do, what you do to me? Can't you see what it means when you're setting free? Blow it up like a volcano.
Got drunk off your love, and I lost myself again. You hit just like a drug. This time I won't let you in. You're playing with fire. No, I didn't on the prey, but there's side of the moon. So if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you. I'm stronger, I'm stronger, I'm stronger today. I'm stronger today. Tú tienes la pócima para enloquecerme, pero voy a draw the line. Que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. Sé que como un trofeo quieres tenerme, pero I don't need no one. Que yo ya sé que es de ti. I got to stay away, got to stay away. No, 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 baby, no, 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 no setbacks. No, 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 baby, no, 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 this time. You broke my heart once again. I won't buy the dust in return. I can't give in, I can't give in, I won't give in this time. You broke my heart once again. Well, you bad, but you bad it for me. I can't give in, I can't give in. I've already run with the wolves. Far from the light of the day. I can't go back to you. I'm stronger today. Been to the dark side of the moon. So if you wanna shoot far away, I won't go back to you. I'm stronger, I'm stronger, I'm stronger today. I'm stronger today.
Hello, and welcome back to yet another week of Dota 2, some Nace action coming at you. I'm excited, we're into week 2, and my dreams have come true, you know, complain enough on stream and behind the scenes, and all of a sudden we have the official ticket come through for week 2, so going forward, we're going to be able to grab all the stats for games, we're going to be able to see players coming up with hopefully the right names as long as they're set up. Some of the janky kind of production stuff can start to go away, and it's an exciting time. Hopefully I don't sound too different. You may notice that my background looks a little bit different, so do let me know if the audio is a little bit funky, but yeah, we're gonna get used to it, and it's gonna be a better setup for us eventually. Just gotta work through some of those first kinks as we get going. But we're getting the lobby set up now, so it's gonna be just a couple of minutes before we can hop into draft. But let me just say, I'm excited to bring more games to you this week, week 2. There's actually been a lot of reschedules that are working out favorably, so again, it's another time when I wish I had a schedule prepped, but stuff's still pending, stuff's not come through yet. But it looks like we're going to be able to take a game today, game tomorrow, maybe 2 on Wednesday, if things work out properly. Looks like there's a game rescheduled for Thursday, and then a couple for the weekend as well. So I said that my target's going to be about 4 series a week going through these games, but we might be able to exceed that number this week as long as the games do line up properly. And I don't have any qualms doing more live games. Sometimes the replays can be a little bit of a slog to get through just because you have to go through and kind of do all the prep and, you know, spoil, not spoil the game. So those can be a little bit more difficult, both for me to have interest in and to gauge interest in, but love doing the live games. The live games are so exciting, and I've talked about why I love this league, but there we are. So, you know, hello, welcome if you're just joining us. Like I said, lobby going to be coming up soon, but we've got Brown versus Columbia, the Ivy League grudge match coming through this weekend. I think one of the players actually sent that to me before this week, but you can see the scores down there as well. Brown took a 2-0 victory against UMN, week number 1 of the league. Unfortunately, if you're looking for those replays, or I guess fortunately, I did broadcast that one, but through Dota, you're not going to be able to find it, and I'm not going to be able to pull really any relevant stats from that. So what can you do? It's almost like week 1 was a bit of a practice match for some of these teams, and it's worked out a little bit better for some than others, because some would want to have it back, and UMN going to be one of those teams, because as I was saying during that broadcast, that was a very big match to be happening week 1. That's one that could potentially have playoff implications here, deciding the top 4. Colombia, unfortunately, forced to forfeit their week 1. Schedules with the Chinese New Year kind of not coinciding properly, and had a lot of members away for the weekend for the celebrations. So forced to forfeit their game 1. So it's going to be the first matchup of the season for them, but going to be headed in with a loss to start it off, as well as somewhere you never want to be. So we'll head over and check out those week 1 standings as well. A little bit too early to be scoreboard watching so far in the league, but just kind of wanted to show off the teams in each division and what our overall setup is going to look like for this group stage and going forward. Do apologize.
10 seconds remaining.
Had the audio looping a little bit. Sorry for that one. It's not quite properly set up. Anyway, we'll get through it now. So yeah, checking it out, we've got 2 9-team groups, as I've kind of alluded to in the past, but now you can finally see them. So we've got an East Coast group and we have a West Central group. Now, the better part this season compared to last is, with only 2 groups, we're going to have 1 combined playoff by default, and that's going to be super nice. So top 4 teams are going to end up qualifying from each division to the playoffs, and it's going to be 1 seed in the East plays 4 seed in the West, and vice versa. So that first round of playoffs, as always, going to be teams that have not gotten a chance to play against each other, won't have gotten a chance to see each other. In terms of the group stage format, we're going to be doing a full round robin in each of the groups, so every team going to play the other. Over the course of 7 weeks, we're going to see 8 series for each team. So, looking at about 4 matches broadcast, I'm going to miss just over about half of them, if my estimations are right. Now, of course, if I can do extra games, love to do it, but for now, those are your standings, and these should be up to date as of today. In the West, we still have 1 week 1 series that got rescheduled like all the way out to the 29th, I think, but nothing's stopping you from doing that in the rules, so gonna roll with that. But otherwise, in the East, you see Toronto, Brown, RIT, and USF all grabbing that week 1 series win, and all doing it 2-0 as well. Meanwhile, Indiana, Minnesota, Conestoga, and Columbia all falling. And Georgia Tech had the week 1 bye, so right now listed as middle of the pack, but they're going to be the favorites. Georgia Tech going to be the team to beat in this East Coast division. And then over in the West, UBC as well had the week 1 bye, so like I said, for Georgia Tech, they're in the middle of the pack, but as last season's overall winners, they're going to be the team to beat not just in the division, but in the league. But over there, you see a couple of 2-1 series wins, 2-0 as well, but the 3 teams there. UCSD, the Toronto B team, actually, they split up into 2 separate teams after last season. And Michigan, all grabbing wins, and the University of Illinois, who had 2 teams going down to 1. Seneca and CPP, the Broncos, all falling. CPP did let me know they're going to be doing a lot of matches on the weekends as long as they can get the reschedules pushed through, so be excited to watch some more of them as we go. But it looks like we are finally in the draft. As you can probably hear, it looks like I left the desktop audio on, so just saw the first pick, so let's hop over into the game. Brown versus Columbia, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen actually with the banner situation. It's kind of funny because the captain of Columbia I was talking with just before the game, and he sent me a message like, forgot to update the flags, and it looks like he's gone ahead and just removed them from the team, so I wouldn't shame his team anymore, which I think is quite funny. Plenty of love for you. And yeah, now here I'm just hoping that all of the names do come through properly. Everything should. I've got my fingers crossed. I was taking a peek at the lobby before the game just to try and make sure everything was set up correctly. But these teams have been around the block. They know what to do, and looks like everything was perfectly squared away. So does feel to me like it's the first real week, even though I know we have a week in competition already. So getting into the draft just a little bit. Brown, Columbia. It looks like Some interesting bans coming out of Brown, not weak heroes, but not maybe your traditional
10 seconds
first phase
remaining.
bans coming out. Wyvern, not necessarily the most contested. Same with the
5
Night Stalker.
seconds remaining.
These are good heroes, don't get me wrong. They're both pickable, but they're not typically that target of a first ban. So maybe shame on me. Should have looked into Colombia a little bit more, see if someone's been spamming these heroes. As I mentioned previously, if you're just joining, do let me know. On a 5-minute delay here, so I can't respond exactly immediately, but if there's some extra echo in here,
10 seconds
I'll see if there's
remaining.
anything I can do about it. Might not be for today, but for going
5
forward. Don't let me,
seconds remaining.
have some bad quality audio for the foreseeable future. Anyway, and then for Colombia, kind of similar deal. The Phoenix, one of those heroes we haven't been seeing super contested of late, but
Radiant team pick.
always a strong hero. And Sunray, Supernova are always super annoying spells to deal with as well. Each team did go with a pretty strong first pick opener. DK and Venge, not heroes that are going to be too committal either way into the draft.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Brown going to go early on for the Space Cow. Slightly worried if they've decided to go with the Spirit Breaker as a support, or at least potentially as a support, just because you kind of can box yourself in, and it's one of those things that we talk about drafting. You don't really want to start
10
4-5
seconds
ever,
remaining.
especially out of that first pick slot, because you can kind of
5 seconds
commit
remaining.
your team to a direction pretty early on. And it's not always the easiest to kind of dig yourself out of, I guess is the way I'll say it. Like, Spirit Breaker, Venge are heroes that want to play quick. They're going to want to be a bit more aggressive, especially with Venge now dealing significant damage on the swap. And you're not that same sit back and only save your carry hero that you once were. Couple that with the Shard Magic Missile bouncing around. Venge is now one of those heroes that does get up in the fight. And Spirit Breaker, of course, can be charging around the map. But so if Colombia, want to take that either way of matching the aggression and starting to run over you before you can get around the map, or, picking something more turtley, just for example, could be a potential issue. Not that I think it will be this game, but just, something to note, maybe a note of caution, picking up both your supports super early on.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Also, yeah, it looks like, last thing I'll say about moving my setup, it looks like my network should be okay.
Radiant team
I was having some issues yesterday with the network, so hopefully all is well there as well. I think that's my biggest pet peeve, is trying to cast games with network issues, and we saw it last season
10
towards the
seconds
beginning
remaining.
when I was kind of disconnecting from matches
5 seconds
occasionally. It would
remaining.
happen maybe like once in a best of 3 or once every other series, but it is one of the more annoying
Radiant team pick.
things to deal with.
Faceless Void. Invoker.
Okay, so Brown gonna go full combo here. Looks like they are gonna be headed with the Spirit Breaker 4. I imagine you don't want carry Spirit Breaker with the Faceless Void. Just a little bit of anti-synergy there. But Faceless Invoker gonna be setting up
10
for
seconds remaining.
the Cataclysm, most likely. It's gonna be the idea
5
between picking these
seconds
heroes in
remaining.
succession. Faceless, one of the S tier safe lanes as well. Deals pretty well into, this kind of lane. Maybe like the DK Marcy, depending on what Colombia want to do, but it's a melee hero that can deal with a pretty aggressive off lane, and that's something that gets picked a lot. Gonna go the Axe as well, so maybe gonna push the DK over to mid. I've seen this hero play multitude of roles, the Dragon Knight, and it does offer you some flexibility, being able to be put in that off lane, put in the mid lane as well. I don't like it so much in the carry. I've actually seen it in a couple of my pubs. People take the Dragon Knight to the safe lane, but it feels like it just doesn't offer you that same damage to contribute into team fights once you've gotten established. I think your real spike comes later when people just can't kill you, but it's hard to have a safe lane when what you're contributing is not die. So it looks like Colombia going to be taking their carry in that last slot, and Brown most likely going to be taking an offlaner. Potential, I suppose, for them to take a 4. Make the Spirit Breaker a 3 and pick something to try and poke at the Bane, but it's kind of hard to outtrade Bane anyway, so I think Spirit Breaker probably just going to get clicked down and get abused in the lane, but it's one of those heroes that's what you do. You get some XP, you lose the lane, and he'll get some farm later on, pushing out the side lanes. So Colombia going to have the pick here, and thinking about carries that they might want to go for. Wraith King going to be banned out as a hero that's going to be able to reincarnate from the Chronosphere. But could go, you know, quite a few ways, I think, with the carry. Luna's still in the pool, and you are able to get Chrono Cataclysm down, but Luna matches up decently into Faceless Void, at least without the threat of Cataclysm. You can always go for that kind of Butterfly Satanic build, and playing a tempo carry that farms pretty fast, sat behind a DK and an Axe, so feels like might be one of the stronger safe lanes they could go with. Here's like the Slark banned out.
5 seconds.
So I'd be looking for them to take that, but there are other options, of course, going out of the carry role.
Dire team pick.
You have Meepo as well, but I think the common thread that we've seen early on is that the Nace teams aren't necessarily the most confident picking the Meepo, especially in more of a safe lane role. It's something that if you don't play it, then you're not going to just pick it up. And as a result of that, we've seen a lot of it being ignored, even though it is one of the strongest heroes of the patch, even currently. I actually forget what the interaction looks like with Chronosphere if you're able to Mega Meepo the Meepos in Chronosphere. Wow, and they're going to go for a Wind Ranger. Now I'm kind of interested how they're going to set up here. They've got quite a bit of flex potential, I think.
Choose your hero.
And Brown with the Primal Beast, yeah, going to be headed into the off lane, and I like this pickup from them. I think this is going to have a very good time against whoever they are sending through into the safe lane. Well, Colombia really not having their names set. What's going on, guys? Come on. I think for the most part, these are actually what they're registered under. And of course, some familiar faces over on Brown, and we're going to be able to call them by the right names as well this game. So always excited to see that.
10 seconds remaining.
So I gotta say, I think I'm favoring Brown's draft, even though I'm a little bit worried for this off-lane Spirit Breaker Primal Beast. It's not the strongest lane, especially against the Bane. Just gonna be able to be clicked down a lot, I think. And the Nightmare gonna be able to take off, I guess, both charges, but theoretically stop the trample damage coming through from the Primal Beast, and that's one of the major threats in the game. So I think their offlane might get shut down a little bit, but ultimately I think they've got really strong team fight combos, and as long as they're not getting hit by multi like 2-man, 3-man calls every fight, I think it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for Colombia to put out the damage they need. And meanwhile, Brown is a much easier to execute lineup where Spirit Breaker is just going to be able to charge through, cause chaos, allow Faceless Void to just sit on the back, wait for that right opportunity to find the Chronosphere, and then be able to jump in. Bit of a long post-draft. But there we go, gonna be able to get into the game. Don't know what that was, that felt longer than normal, didn't it? There we go, beautiful.
Prepare for battle.
Looks like Brown gonna be smoking out of the fountain straight away. See if they're actually headed anywhere or just to the mid lane.
Stunning, isn't it?
Looks like we're just taking the waddle to the mid. Make sure to get the wards down. So the team's going to be on opposite sides of the river here and kind of look over the rosters. Neither team wanted to be too committal. Actually, a late smoke coming through for Colombia, who I noticed Colombia's team banner's missing as well. But the line has been drawn. Stoic knows where Brown is, wants to maybe make the rotation over. Oops. But unfortunately, with that mid tier 1 in the way, not really gonna get too far along. So things gonna remain calm in this pregame, and gonna get ready to have game number 1 get underway here as the horn's gonna sound. Both teams opposite sides of the river. Red One Rose actually walking up underneath the ward. They're gonna miss on the Marcy, and yeah, that's gonna spell the end of the kill there. A little bit of wishful thinking with the short hop, hoping the Venge was gonna continue walking forward. Not gonna happen, but ultimately, relatively low commit. Rune's gonna go 2 for 2, and that is how this game will start. We're gonna be looking to have a Magic mid lane. Magic against Stoic. Gonna be headed as the Klosswex Invoker. Early Urn, probably early Spirit Vessel as well. Good against DK. Good against the Axe as well, so very traditional Invoker build-up, but see how he decides to do it. Have seen people go back for the Midas as well, but there are kind of some nuances there where sometimes you want the early Spirit Vessel and sometimes just the Urn allows you to get those kills with Cold Snap, and then you'll be able to transition away into the Midas build-up. And with him going Cataclysm, the ideas for Midas are there, so like I said, very interested in what he decides to do, because that's a nice deny there. Because you do want those extra levels coming out if you want to go for this Cataclysm, as well as the extra gold to farm up the Aghanim Scepter. But yeah, Magic doing incredibly well for himself here. A lane where he should get the edge early on DK, but not one that DK really catches back up in. He'll just start to draw more even as the points come through for the Dragon's Blood. Gonna take a look over at our side lanes while things do calm down in the mid, and it's like we might have picked the right time to make the move. Still just level 1 on each of these heroes, so level 2 and perhaps there's a bit of danger. Marcy caught the aggro of the hard camp, but it's actually going to swap over and we'll be totally fine. Faceless against Axe down here. It's a lane that we see incredibly often nowadays, and very traditional as well. I mean, this has been around for about as long as Dota's been around. But Axe builds up this nice wave for himself, and Faceless, well, he's not really under threat of dying. He's just going to go even here. Take a look over at the top lane. This is the one where I said Brown most likely going to get edged out pretty substantially. They did decide to throw the Wind Ranger up here as well, and 2 ranged heroes against the double melee coming through from Colombia. Excuse me, other way around. Colombia against Brown. But the 2 ranged should edge out pretty handily, as well as Bane with the Brain Sap. As I said, there was no threat of dying down here. Looks like they're going to connect on the combo. First Blood going to go down. Ends up being a 1-for-1 trade. As Logigo able to make the return kill. Wonder if that's Logigo or Logigo. Like Logic. Should ask at some point, but for now, we'll never know. Lotus up in the top lane, and Spirit Breaker actually able to find that one, connected on the charge. So the superior stun's gonna allow him to grab that one away, snatch it from the hands of Colombia. And things have ended up pretty even in the laning stage so far here, 3 minutes in. Axe the only one who's starting to struggle a little bit, as had that double wave, but it looked like during the kill, he got dragged away from farming it and lost a bunch of the creeps, so... Some unfortunate timing there, and sometimes goes to show why kills can be worth less than just finding your farm. Starting to get whittled down. Time dilation, blood grenade. Just a little bit of pressure coming out for Brown. Nothing too serious. And Marcy hits level 3. Gonna find some lifesteal to put over onto Beast US East. And gonna continue to have an easier time down here. It's falling low. There's a little funky camera there. See Bane falling pretty low up there, but hard for Spirit Breaker to dive the tower now. Doesn't have the boots available, and pretty scary against potential Shackle and Nightmare combo coming through. Look at this build coming out from the Wind. Have seen this one, maybe not frequently, but have seen this one definitely in the past coming through. The Bracer and the Wraith Band. Make sure you get the extra armor from the Wraith Band, but want the strength from the Bracer as well. It's pretty cute. When I first saw this this build come through, it's one of those things that just makes you think, is the charge going to come through Windrun? Gonna dodge off any potential right clicks and Nightmare down the tower, but with the Nightmare committed, Geom, he's ready to dive the Shackle. It's not going to latch, but Geom's still forced to disengage from the tower.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Things will settle themselves down again. Mid lane going about as well as expected. Magic continued to pull that early lead. It's another kill down bottom. Just caught out into the call. Looks like he was able to grab the full wave as well. And extra spin's going to be more than enough damage. Vanguard finished for Beast US East, so I said he was struggling a little bit in the CS department before, but he's totally fine now. Tread's going to be coming out for Faceless, so he's doing just fine for himself as well. See the pings coming through up top.
You've been voided.
But it looks like Rune's not going to be a big focus for either of these teams. As the 6-minute Rune going to spawn, it is a shield Rune. Magic able to push the wave out and find it for himself. Looks a bit surprised to find that one. But with 3 of his heroes top and not knowing where the enemies were, a little bit questionable. Marcy going to make the TP up top, and just in time for Magic to finish it in on this rotation bottom, headed towards the Axe and Beast US East. As the Vanguard, he's pretty tanky. It's not an easy kill to find. Void having to be careful. Doesn't want to step up into the wave too hard either. Magic, I mean, he's looking for the angle, but there's no Marcy here. There's no easy kill. The shield Rune lets you not take any damage, but it's not going to help you bring down Vanguard Axe. His teammates up top take down the safe laner, so DD Mega Doodoo gonna go down underneath his tower, so not all is lost, but in the meantime, DK gets the level 6, gets the dragon form, about half the damage in on the tower, actually taking a little bit of a weird dodge of the tornado angle there, headed right through the tower. But a pretty significant concession for Magic to make that jump down bottom, or make that rotation down bottom. And simply not a kill that he's able to find once Marcy TP's away to help against the tri-lane set up top.
You deserve nothing.
And unfortunately, Faceless Void pulls out the Gloves of Haste now, but without the Maelstrom, not really able to go jungle at the moment, so his support was pulled back to here. He's able to snatch up a late Wisdom Rune, and it looks like they're able to grab the other as well. So that's going to be a pretty significant win for Brown, something Columbia perhaps needs to pay a little bit more attention to going forward, but support's going to be under-leveled, and for a hero like Bane, it's pretty significant. I mean, Marcy as well, this is a hero that you hit your level 6 and you're kind of a threat just on the fact of having Unleash. Are looking for the kills over onto Venge, but Redolin Rose should just be able to walk his way away, and player 1950 maybe going to turn towards the mid. There is a ward in the way though, so the rotation will be spotted out. What did we see? I heard the rune come through. His double damage purged off by the tornado, so easy enough there. Up top, Sunstrike off the mark. Always got to be mindful of these jumps. Both heroes looking to charge in on you at any misstep, but Columbia doing a good job holding their spells and without wasting some of their spells, without stepping out of position. It's not the easiest for Spirit Breaker Primal, like I was saying, against the two ranged heroes to find the angle in. So 2-2 here, 9 minutes in, and the big winner is the Beast US East, who looked like he might be the small loser at the beginning of the game, but up top, 4,200 net worth. He's got 1,000 gold towards a Blink Dagger, potentially. He's got to continue looking up towards the top lane as DD Mega Doodoo potentially in some trouble, but again, the Nightmare comes through. Power shot going to be off the mark, and the Nightmare actually dumped over onto the carry. Got to cancel that one, guys. And Giam, level 6 is up, but 3 heroes and underneath the tower, he's starting to take some pretty significant damage. Power shot comes through, but not a ton of damage being able to be applied. Just level 1 on the power shot, but with the level 3 wind run, able to catch up to Giam. The charge towards the mid lane instead, so Giam eventually is going to go down. Very long gank through there into the top corner up by Roshan, but gonna end up working out for them regardless as Columbia do take the kill lead. And in the mid, the charge not able to accomplish much. Logico just super nuisanced by this Marcy, but this time with the magic missile TP support. A couple of bashes don't hurt either, do they? Super annoying to play carry and have the support hunting you like that, so that kill's gotta feel pretty damn good. PCOC, he's in on the rotation. Gonna find the call into the mid. He just walked up for this one. With the phase boot, it's gonna be bashed down under tower, but it's just gonna dump the spin closer to Magic. Actually misses the dunk on the faces, but it's gonna end up getting him the kill regardless. Battle Hunger and the poison breath. The poison attack, I suppose. End up claiming that one. So up to 5-3 in BCUS East with the mid-rotation early, Phase Boots Vanguard, and halfway to Blink. Saw his Marcy go down, knew there was supports in the area down bottom for Brown, so makes the ambitious play to just run into the mid lane and hope that it works, and works in spades. Columbia Cores all relatively happy off the back of that one. Still, Faceless is farming well, and he'll be up on his Maelstrom soon enough. In the mid lane. 3-man gank. They are going on to the DK, but this is a tanky hero. Magic looking for the angle in, starting to take tower shots to do it, and Marcy still not level 6, so not going to be able to put any pressure onto Magic. Just going to be able to get back DK all the way back to the fountain. He'll be TPing back out. Do want to take a look back up at this top lane. Is DD Mega Doodoo with the tower denied, but starting to fall low. Windrun going to be dumped out. But the Focus Fire not able to put in any damage, and eventually does just get bashed down. The charge was through. She's working on her Maelstrom as well, and it's going to be behind the Faceless Void. Another hero that doesn't farm the fastest out of the safe lane. Don't have the levels, so the power shot isn't really there to help you secure the creeps, and without the Maelstrom, it's a pretty difficult time. Oh, look at Magic, just able to snatch that haste rune. Ghost Walk slow, giving all the edge he needed. Looking up in the top, the supports grouped up for Columbia, and Magic, he's going to run right into him. The Ghost Walk going to be applied. Sentry drop, Nightmare going to come through, but the charge from Silico going to be jumped over, and Bane just in the middle of a party here. Actually thinking about continuing. Player 1950 wanted to walk up and wanted to make something happen, but did run into 4 heroes, so not going to find it there, and Magic even able to steal away the rest of the hard camp there. Brown with heroes in the area, want to collapse onto mid, but BCUS East, there's the blink reveal. Gonna find 2 underneath the tower, dunk onto 1, Silico, he'll get tanked down by the tower as well. Great positioning there from Beast US East. See if I get the timing right on the replay to find that call angle. Looks like a little bit early, but we'll watch it through to show off the blink reveal here, as all else is pretty quiet on the map. I say we might need to jump back up to the mid, up to the live game, as Bash is coming up through onto DD Mega Doodoo. Windrun already committed up in 1 second, but the Sunstrike, oh, it's going to be off the mark. The Focus Fire starting to whittle down Giam. Still, DD Mega Doodoo has to be careful. Can't play around here too long, and ends up managing to get away, but who's coming? Who's coming indeed? Spirit Breaker in with the bash, has the Nether Strike available. The neutral creeps, they're not going to find the kill. And Silly Eco with the Midas queued up, going to find a little bit of an injection of gold for himself. Pure solo kill set up by the rather long engagement up top Giam had with DD Mega Doodoo. So 7-7 now as we approach, we just passed the 14-minute mark into the game. Wisdom Runes actually not going to be picked up on the Columbia side. They got bigger fish to fry. They're going to find the Nightmare setup into the call. They're looking for Giam, and Giam starting to fall low with the bash. It comes through the charge. No, not going to be enough. And now it's Silly Eco left to pay as well as the Centaur Stomp. Not going to hold them back enough. So many bashes tried to come through and kind of save that fight for Columbia, but excuse me, save that fight for Brown. Wow, really stumbling on the words today. Beast US East in the mid lane actually swapped back into the ice wall. Very nice idea there, and now going to be charged down, taking a lot of magic nuke, and again pushed into the ice wall. He's not running away. He felt like he was stuck in that for the whole duration, but he still finds the dunk, and he still gets away. How does he do it? The rest of his team made the rotation in behind him, made the TPs, and somehow managed to save him on just 100 HP. Craziness in the mid lane. Let's have a little check-in on Void, falling extremely low over by the Ancients, by the way, but gonna be able to farm him up. Oh, it's so unfortunate. Look at the huge wave underneath the tower, but simply too low to go show up there. So Faceless gonna have to make his way back to the base, and Logico, he's got to be shaking his head at that one. I mean, that's pretty infuriating as a carry player, I have to say. GM's got the Blade Mail, and maybe some more net worth hiding somewhere. Redolin Rose with the stun. Heard the EMP in the front, player 1950, just a little bit caught in no man's land. Giam into the mid-river, woken up from the Nightmare, but the blink, he's from US East, just gonna find the one. The Nightmare actually cross-applied onto the creep wave. But Beast to US East eventually does find the kill. Now they're gonna find the grip onto Giam. Quick cancel by Magic. See if that doesn't end this fight. Stoic thought about chasing forward for more, but not gonna find it. He's got 2,500 gold in the bank. See if he grabs a Midas up, or what direction he wants to take his game is. Did pick up the early Mage Slayer, but level 2 Dragon Foreman. There's a lot of ways he could actually play this. Against the double Midas, Invoker Spirit Breaker. Oh, didn't even see Faceless Void up there. Oh, that's a big one. Just found the call. Looks like he took some extra spins as well. Caught in the camp. Anyway, yeah, Stoic with 3,000 gold. Could go for a Blink Dagger, though I imagine he'd have it already. Same with Midas. So maybe going to work for a Manta. Maybe going to go ahead and grab the early BKB. Both ways that he could decide to play this game. And Columbia going to be looking to put the pressure on early here, I suppose. As ooh, another kill that we're going to miss over to the side while we watch that tower go down. Player 1950 just caught out on a little bit of a warding expedition. Seeing all that gold in Stoic's pocket, it just has me distracted, and yeah, he'll be going into the Manta style. Still, all eyes going to be on Beast US East, level 13, wants to get in here. Walking through the river, no vision uphill at the moment. So Giam, at least somewhat safe. They're going to try and look for him, but with no creeps in the area, there's no spins to be able to put over. Instead, going to turn their attention over towards Silly Eco, and this time he's in the middle of the wave. There are spins to come through. The Marcy helping out as well with the stun. Beast US East, monster kill spree. Stoic in the meantime, Gonna try and go on him, Brown, but again, this is a tanky hero. Hard to find. Giam did lead with the Pulverize, but the Blink call, that's a two-man call on the big cores. There's no Void over in the area either, so Magic, he's just gonna go down. Giam maybe gonna get run down himself as Stoic looking for another Dragon Tail. It's gonna be down for another 4 seconds, see if he can't catch up to him, but gonna have to give it up. Redolent Rose instead showing forward. Magic Missile gonna save him. Support's behind up on the high ground, but not going to be able to commit forward for any more. Still, the Beast of US East, we've seen his axe game and game again, and this is a hero that it really feels like you got to take out of his hands because he's able to do some tremendous things with the axe every time he gets it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Ooh, look at this build up. Marcy just going straight in for the Aghanim Scepter. Wanted to get to the low ground, but not able to do it.
Dire's middle tower is
So generally when I've seen the support Marcy's go for Ags, it's a little bit later on in the game. Something like a BKB straight away is very tempting on support Marcy because you have all the damage that you need during the Unleash anyway.
is under attack.
But once the silence coming out from the early Ags, probably going to try and deal with the Faceless Void that way is the idea. And I've not seen this particular build-up, I don't think, myself, so I'm interested to see how it works out, if he's going to be able to find the farm to get there.
Radiant are scanning.
Meanwhile, we're still waiting for Logigo to get involved in a fight and use that first Chronosphere. For now, it's hard for him to find targets. Dragon Knight, not easy. Axe, definitely not easy. And Wind Ranger, if she gets the Wind Run off, you're not going to have any damage in the Chronosphere, so... Instead, opting to just try and keep up in the farm, but again, he's going to be called out by Beast US East. He was up on the high ground, the swap, applying the shield, trying to get himself away, but Stoic, he's in with the Blink, actually changed his mind off the Manta and picked up a full Blink dagger. Don't know how I missed that one. Over on the side, Bernardo, he's going to be able to get the grip off, but immediately caught by the Chrono. He catches two, but also catches his entire team. Sets up for the call from Beast US East, looking for the spins. He's going to find the damage, the bash across. He's not going to find a single dunk out of that call. The spins just weren't there. Now across on the back field, he's trying to clean up. And all of a sudden, kind of disaster. Logigo, he's able to jump his way away, and DD Mega Doodoo falling low, but the final shots do come through, and the call now looking to clean up Beast US East. Now he's going to start to thrive. Now he's going to have a good time. Giam, oh, can't make it to the low ground. Beautiful Dragon Tail to cancel him out, and what a strange back and forth engagement that was. I mean, an absolutely excellent call from Beast US East, but can't turn it into any kills, and the bash from Spirit Breaker was just able to find enough. Oh, it's not over yet. DD Mega Doodoo gonna go down up top. Magic found the kill. And maybe gonna pay with his life in return. See if there's enough damage. The dog's not gonna be there. What was that? 50 HP on Magic? There's no dust either. So now that we've calmed down, see if we can't go ahead and take a quick look back at that call. Looks like we actually just missed it for the cleanup, so apologies there. We'll figure out the replay situation eventually. Something I think would be really cool to add eventually, but at the moment I'm pretty unfamiliar with getting it to work, so we'll take what we can get, I suppose. Yeah, that's kind of awkward. Anyway, charge gonna come through. Shane up on the high ground. Very aggressive to be up on the high ground here. I know they have the ward up, but gonna get taken down pretty quickly.
Radiant's middle tower is
Did run into the entire team. D-ward will come through eventually. Need a courier up there or something. It's not an easy easy ward to get with just the Wave of Terror. Want to see if player 1950 does decide to go on this one, and thinking about it, but eventually not going to happen. Instead, Faceless. Could have looked for the jump, but not gonna manage it. And that's Stoic in the mid lane. Not really in too much danger. Has the Manta to work with now, and Oh, the Unleash comes through, not able to find the kill quick enough, and all of a sudden, oh, it's not going to be damage. Look at the swap. Still not used to that spell doing the damage that it does now, and just watching the illusions go to town is Stoic. He's actually able to burn down Silly Eco on the backside, but now they're starting to run up towards the triangle, and this is a dangerous place to fight. Stoic on the low ground, looking for the supports, and he'll get magic missiled up. The rest of the team's here, though, and there is a Chrono available as well. Logigo, looking about it, thinking to go forward. Beast USE in good counter-initiating position. Not going to walk up the high ground, though. Brown going to respect it, and Stoic gonna have to think about backing off here because Dragon Form gonna run out. He'll just blink over to the mid lane. Double damage rune spawns. Not the best timing for him during the short downtime on the Dragon Form. Down bot, player 1950 again. Hit a little bit deep on his own. Going to be pulverized, sunstruck, and bashed down by Silly Eco. The call comes through. Beast USE's looking for the return kills. Maybe bit off a little bit more than he can chew, but going to force Brown to back away for now. Fresh BKB going to be dumped off, but no call available. Nothing to work with, and starting to run in by himself. The BKB going to wear out. See what they can make happen. It looks like just the back off there, but you can see Columbia start to flex their might a little bit with the Dragon Knight, with the Axe. These are heroes that they don't have the damage on Brown to really deal with very efficiently. On the backside, Stoic going to find the jump in, but Beast USE's falling very low. The call trying to survive, not going to be enough. DD Megadudu has to cancel the focus fire because he's targeting the Blade Mail at Geom. Now just has to run away. Eventually, Stoic is able to take down the support on the backside, but Bane going to pay with his life as well. And Stoic going to be able to escape. So some messy fights there, and you can see not a ton of damage coming through kind of both ways. I mean, Stoic's starting to fall off a little bit. I don't know exactly how to say, because he was targeting the Venge the whole time, but with the extra shield coming in from the swap, that is 500 extra HP coming out for the support. So not able to take her down solo off to the side, and just means it's more time that you're not clicking into the cores. So Stoic 5-0-9 hasn't died this game, but still feels like he needs a little bit of extra something in the tank, and that extra something will come out from the Aghanim Scepter, and he's able to get up to that Black Dragon form. But the smoke comes through from Brown, hanging up around this high ground. Geom, though, goes to the low, and he'll actually reveal, counters the smoke immediately, charge through, but it's going to whiff. Beast USE runs through the Chronosphere. It's going to stop any call coming through, but there's no damage to take him down. Going to have to turn the attention over to player 1950, but the hesitation going to cost him. Eventually does go down, but on the backside, the swap. Beast USE's falling low. Red One Rose still available, still alive and kicking. Popping the magic missiles through. It's a 1-for-2 so far. Just support's going down, and it looks like there might not be damage for anything else here. DD Megadudu has to run away again. And these carries, they just don't have anything in the tank. They have nothing between the two of them. Faceless, you see him pop the Chrono, wants to commit on to Beast USE, but it's during the BKB, the magic damage from the Maelstrom, from the Mjolnir, from the bashes, it doesn't do anything. And then across the side, DD Megadudu pops the Focus Fire, and where's the damage? I think he actually popped it over onto his support. And then you're just clicking with Diffusal Manta as a wind. Only level 15 as well, so really been a little bit of a struggle for these carries. Got to do our annual check-in on the Spirit Breaker. Yeah, it's going Midas Octarine. Now, I will say, I'm not the biggest fan of the Octarine on 4 Spirit Breaker. We have seen it before. It's not the newest thing, but excuse me, something like a Shadow Blade, something like a even a BKB can just allow you to be a little bit more chaotic in the fights. And he's not been pushing out side lanes enough on Silly Eco to really justify this Octarine build, in my opinion. I think there's a time and place for the greed, but if you want to play more engaged in the game, I mean, he's got 7 deaths, which it's not a bad thing. It's just not really fitting with the style. Heard a Sunstrike go through. I don't know exactly where that was. Oh, it was over onto Bane.
Is under attack.
Ended up falling pretty low. Gee, I'm looking for the Wisdom Rune, but picked up instead.
Scanning.
Stoic into that level 20. Oh, funny. Dota Plus even recommends talents for me while I'm in the broadcast mode. See what he does decide to take. And Columbia are grouped up, maybe getting ready to make a smoke. Looks like the Aghanim Scepter is coming through for Stoic, so pretty significant spike for the Dragon Knight coming through.
Dire's top tower.
So there it is. They will pop the smoke, the TP across from Beast USCs, looking for perhaps a little bit of a flank, and Stoic finds the Forge Spirit, gets stomped by the Centaur. Yeah, that's an annoying one, and Brown with a nice read, able to TP away on Bolt Invoker and away on Logigo. Gonna take the gate down bottom. Wow. Ambitious. And they're actually gonna find Invoker, potentially Magic in some trouble. Dragon Tail, oh, but there's no detection. Doesn't have dust on himself.
Dire's bottom
Magic, oh, just dodges the call as well. Gonna be able to get away. Roshan is available, so if they're able to force Brown away from this area, it could spell a freebie for him there, but Magic doing his best and staying in position. Oh, now he's gonna TP away.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So it looks like Columbia having the same idea and gonna wait for Roche to make his way through the portal. Bernardo just taking a couple of bashes for fun. Sunstrike gonna come through. This one actually gonna be started during the Linger Vision on the Sunstrike, so they do know what's happening and they are making the rotation, but look how fast it falls. The Focus Fire able to pump out some damage. Beast US East in good position up on the high ground as well. It's down to about half HP. Giam the smoke gonna break. Beast US East, they know he's up there, but he's got the position. There's not much you can do about it. Age is gonna be claimed, and now the jump forward. Beast US East finds the call, but it's on the tanky one. It's gonna be a hard fight to engage on the back. Instead, Redwin Rose is gonna be the target, but Jackal not actually gonna latch, and still a hard kill to find the Chronosphere. Gets him up to all five. The Captain Blizzard's gonna be dropped on the top. That's a double kill, making 3 in the Chrono. Looking for the 4th Age, is going to be taken down on DD Mega Doodoo. Maybe not, trying to win run it off with the Spirit Vessel. Oh my goodness, the Chrono of his life. Logigo, exactly how you draw it up. They go on the tanky one, they go on the Venge. It takes so long to kill him. I said the carries have been struggling, but it's all the Logigo show now. 5k swing across the board as they're able to clean it up for free. And what a get. I mean, you can just see, it takes them so long. They're like, we can't get these kills. We have to get into position. Yule's up on the backside, now the jump forward. But look, Faceless over onto the side. Oh, that's a spicy one. That's a spicy meatball. It's exactly the damage they were looking for. It's exactly what they were looking for the whole time. Oh, that just feels so good. You pick your entire draft around this. That's the point of your game. And Brown maybe starting to feel a little bit of despair in this one because time and again they just weren't able to execute damage on the front. Hold that thought, Beast US East. He finds the call in the middle of the wave looking for the dunk. Not enough damage, but the jump forward, player 1950. Gets the wicked 6 streak, 7x kills, and I think a couple of those were during that last Roche fight. Still, like I was saying, you build your draft around this, but it's just frustrating to not be able to find the damage. Kind of time and again. You're against DK, against Axe. Even against Wind, we can see she gets out of that Chrono with the Wind run. It still is difficult to take her down when you're not against 1v5. And finally the damage does come through in very overwhelming fashion. Now Logigo. Scotty complete as well. Gonna try and take down the Tormentor. Careful, guys. This is the second Tormentor. They're gonna have enough.
Structures are fortified.
Logigo able to time walk that off, and the Planar Pocket gonna be acquired. Octarine as well, so Planar Pocket even sooner. Still, Columbia showing that one bad team fight means they're not out of this game. Gather up, group down, take down the mid tower. There's a couple of picks from Beast US East enabling that play, and He's going to be working towards the heart next as well, so just wants to be even more difficult to take down. And understandably so. Ball on the backside. It's going to be just onto the illusion. The jump forward Dragon Tail. That's going to set up Chrono. This time, just going to be the two-man Cataclysm drop forward. And does he have the damage to actually take anyone down? The Shackle Shot. It's going to laugh him on the side, but Stoic starting to fall low, taking a lot of damage and does eventually go down. DD Megadoodoo as well underneath the tower. Wanted in on the backside to try and create some chaos, but it's going to end up being the 3 cores taken down. And just like that, the jump forward onto the illusion doesn't work out for you. Not realizing in time that they'd gone on the illusion of the Faceless Void. Cost some 4 euros. Going for the solo kill here, 1950. Oh, dumps magic up onto the high ground. That's awkward. Held back by the EMP as well, trying to get around the trees. And now starting to take damage of him. So, and the cold snap the vessel, the charge. Not even needed. Oh, what an unfortunate angle to take there. I don't think he really had the kill anyway, but oops. Yeah, Magic will take the freebie. Why not?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
A little bit of split push action going on. Top tier 3 being pressured at the same time the mid tier 2 going down. And the charge actually comes across inside of the base. DD Megadoodoo held up by the EMP, and the Nightmare not going to save you against a spicy meatball. Jump forward Stoic now looking for magic out over by the front of the base. The blink from Beast US East as well going to take the kill eventually. So because of that split pressure, like I said, mid tier 2 going down, so there's no real support on the backside, but Magic does take down the enemy carry for his own life. Still, probably not too worth it, and yeah, the fight recap gonna agree with me is they lose their opportunity to pressure out anymore onto the tower, as well as giving a little bit of extra gold, but now Beast US East, he's farming pretty aggressively here. He's far away from his team, gonna be caught up by Logico, and see what he can do here. Does find the call onto 2 Blade Mail as well. Does he have the damage? Hang on, wait a second. Beast US East is gonna be okay, has the BKB as well. Now looking for Geom, and gonna be forced to back his way out eventually, but over on the side, Bernardo ends up paying for the sins of the rest of the team. As Geom gonna be caught again. Beast US East somehow still thinking of going in here. Now gonna have to back away, but he's totally isolated from his team. He's definitely bitten off more than he can chew here. Beast US East again with the Blade Mail, scaring off Logico. The call, he's gonna try and look for the blink angle, but it's not gonna come through. Oh my goodness.
Faceless, but I'm not maceless.
It's a scary amount of damage coming through off the Blade Mail there. It looks like Faceless should have no fear hitting in, and all of a sudden you see his HP go down to like 30%. Things starting to look pretty rough for Columbia. Off to such an insane start too, and starting to run into that late game Faceless Void Invoker. And Windrunner is one of those heroes that you do feel like in the late game is pretty strong, but it's hard to pick against Faceless as the game goes later and later. These things slow down here. Ooh, okay. That was annoying. I don't know what I just heard. Oh, that was a nullifier. Okay. Ooh. I thought I heard like a chronosphere from far away for some reason. I'm insane. Don't listen to me. Anyway, just wanted to go around the horn a little bit because the game slows down. We can see any new items that I've probably missed. Fuel Scepter coming out for the Spirit Breaker. Shiva's been working towards the Ags as well, and the Ag's going to help out against Axe pretty significantly as well, so I'm going to be pretty happy to pick that one up. Ben's working on an Ags of her own, and just even more strong items as they work towards the late game, and they're definitely building for it. They know that it's coming. As we head over to the other side of the river, Bane working with just a 4 staff, and sometimes it's hard to be supports on a losing team. And what is this? Don't go for the blessing. You got slots. I don't know what the idea is here. The Ags I can kind of understand. Don't get the blessing, please. Beast USC's working towards the heart. Clicked on wind, but no real progression there. The BKB, but you see she's fallen behind the Spirit Breaker in terms of net worth, and so hard for this hero to hit jungle, and especially now that they're starting to feel the squeeze. She doesn't want to show in lane. She doesn't want to go out and get chronoed because that kill just would be worth it every single time. And oh my goodness, again, Stoic is thinking about starting up an investing club over at Columbia. 6,000 gold in his pocket. Unfortunately, you're not earning any interest on that. So even with the emergency buyback fund, he'll have some extras, and gonna decide to work towards a Bloodthorn. It's a little bit late in the game for me for this decision, I think. They're feeling the need to find kills onto the Faceless because they know that they can't get catted again. They know they can't get chrono catted, and one more of those type of engagements would just end the game. Looking for magic, but it's a hard go to find. As I was saying, it's one of those things where killing Faceless and killing Invoker off the bat are not an easy call, because it feels like these heroes will always be able to get their spells off. So really what's the way to go is you need to make sure that you're playing separate so that when the Cataclysm comes through, it's only going to be on one or, you know, maybe two targets, but you don't want it to be two cores. You want it to be core and a support. You know, if Marcy gets caught in it with someone, that's okay, that's acceptable, but really can't have, you know, Axe Dragon Knight caught in the chrono again. Looking for the angle onto Magic. They do see him. Beast USC is going to find the call. Blade Mail as well, but the damage, it's hard to come by. The Shackle, it is going to connect. The charge through, it's going to connect onto two. They're going to find the chrono. This is what I was talking about. Axum just wants support. Sure, the Cataclysm comes through, but you need to make the most of it on the backside. That was the buyback from Invoker, and now they're going to be able to try and turn it around. Beast USC is still living through, so it's just the Marcy dead for now. Still the damage coming through. The charges on the front. You see just how annoying the eco can be over on the side, and Beast USC is going to be eventually run down by Logigo as well. At the end of the day, the cleanup crew has arrived, so Stoic not able to find the damage needed to do anything on the back end of that fight. Definitely going to be a one fight for Brown, but do see angles back in for Columbia as well. If they find magic on the dieback, it's going to open up their fight, and they executed what they wanted to do. Faceless Void a little bit far away, wasn't able to find the return Chronosphere straight away, so Invoker does go down. Unfortunately for them, does have the buyback and Cataclysm. Well, you're able to cast that one from the fountain. Look how far up, okay, hey, look how far up he is, just playing around with his team inside of the Roche Pit. I mean, could have just died there if I'm completely honest. There's no Fiend's Grip, but connection from the Marcy and BKB. I guess the BKB was on cooldown, so the Sunstrike off the mark inside of the Fountain. But what is worrying about that fight is Columbia gave up exactly the chrono that they wanted to. I mean, aside from a miss, which you're not really going to be able to expect in any number of fights. Axe and Marcy, after you've gotten the jump onto Invoker, that's about as perfect as you can get. And with one buyback, they lost the fight pretty handily, so that's a scary sign for a Columbia team. They know they need pickoffs, but not easy at all for them to find a way back into this game. Now down 28k in the net worth, and it's starting to feel that way, where earlier on in this game, Brown were really having a hard time dealing damage to Columbia. These heroes were too tanky, and there just wasn't enough in the tank in fights where Columbia were able to just get kills or, at worst case, walk away. And it's starting to feel the exact opposite now, where Columbia, even when they get what they want, it's so brutally hard for them not to just lose the fight, because unfortunately for them, there's no easy way for them to disengage. Lots of melee heroes, lots of committal jumps into fights with the axe. They're gonna smoke up and they're gonna try and find a pick somewhere. Stoic looking towards the mid lane, but Spirit Breaker, not someone you want to pop on. Instead, they're going to find the call. It's over onto Invoker. This could be the dieback if they find it, but the Chronosphere is going to be dropped over the top as well. Going to allow his buddy to get out, but where's the damage? They're not going to have it for now. No Chronosphere coming, no Cataclysm coming through. These USCs looking for the call, looking for Magic, but not able to find a BKB on the front, but the Ice Wall, perfectly positioned Magic, gonna pull everyone in with the EMP, and now your damage is gone, your time is done, and your heroes are going to be dead. Sure, Aegis burned out, but what are you really accomplishing as the rest of the team will eventually go down. Beast USC is lifted up by the Tornado, taken down. Dragon Knight gonna be the next to go. The buybacks came through, but not gonna accomplish anything there either, as having to cancel TPs to the front, and this game feeling just about over off the back of that one. Beast USC, he's looking for that one last desperate call, looking for the spins, has the blade now. Nullifier doing some damage. Magic, he's actually going to get taken down by the spin. That is the dieback. The swap over the top. Beast USC's not going to live through this one, so it'll be a dieback for him as well. DD Megadudu trying to run away, now going to be bashed up on the front. Siliko trying to finish off the kill. Wind Waker in hand even. Not going to be needed. And Stoic, last one alive, running back up towards his base. Eul Scepter up in the air. Magic Missile down. He'll be bashed up front. He'll be taken down. 3 heroes, all on dieback. 100 seconds on the deck. And yeah, just going to call the GG straight away. But what a game. I mean, what a fun game. These two teams. Brown Columbia really delivering game number 1. And I mean, not to harp on it, but it all goes back to that one chrono. I mean, we all love to talk about the one value play. That was absolutely a value play, let me tell you. But Beast USC's with 57,000 damage, by the way. I mean, absolute craziness. Absolute craziness. And what a game 1. I'm excited to go into game number 2. Absolutely excited to go into game number 2. So we are going to be joining that one. Sorry, I don't have the game score down below here either, but you know, Brown obviously just taking that one. Were you even watching? But we're gonna go ahead and get joined into the next lobby. Super exciting. Gonna go into game number 2. So as always, take a snack, take a break, get a snack, get a drink. I know I need one, and yeah, we'll be back in just a couple of minutes with game number 2, Brown versus Columbia. See you in a bit.
There you were on the other side of the room. Place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. Side of the room, place was filled, but all I could see was you. never wanna get used to the sound you whispering in my ear. I've loved you since I met you. Did I ever tell you that? I tried to push you out, you pull in. I fell hard so fast. There you were on the other side of the room. Place was filled, but all I could see was you. You're magnetic, captivating, and you know it's true. Sent a smile and you started to make your way through. I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Memories keep me waiting for you. Keep me waiting for you. Leave with me to the stars above. I think I'm ready for you. Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Memories keep me waiting for you. Keep me waiting for you. Leave with me to the stars above. I think I'm ready for you.
Alright, we are back in, getting ready for game number 2. The lobby has just come through, so be hopping into that game shortly. So hope you're ready, hope you're prepared for game number 2. I'm not going to salt away anyone's time here, and we can hop right into the game.
Radiant team banned.
Unfortunate, look, they don't have
10 seconds remaining.
the game indicators. So close, so close.
5 seconds remaining.
But no, I think game 1 was definitely a success, not only for these two teams, but for
Radiant team
the
ban.
using the ticket and having all the settings and everything set up properly, it looks like everything was going well. So
10 seconds
feels kind of like the
remaining.
first official
Dire
game.
team ban.
Definitely isn't, but kind of feels like it. And it is Colombia's first match of the season, something that I didn't actually get to really talk
10
about too much
seconds
during
remaining.
the game. But yeah, Colombia's first match of the season,
5 seconds remaining.
as they did have that forfeit week number 1. So
Radiant team ban.
coming in at a little bit of a disadvantage, but I think they've showed that they're back in the same form as they had
10
in
seconds
last
remaining.
season, as well. As we talk about the axe play.
5 seconds
And Beastie US
remaining.
East is continuing to show that that is one of his signature heroes. Certainly. Also give a quick shout out to Hunter CJR, given the sub before last game. I did see it come through. Loger Gruntle as well, subbing last week. Something that I can't really mention during these games, both on delay and kind of messing with how the casts go. But I do appreciate you guys
10
with the
seconds
support.
remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
And yeah, maybe your support will eventually let us learn how to do this stupid instant replay.
Dire team ban.
Oh, it's so annoying. I'll get there eventually. And really, this is a story better saved for one of the streams where I'm
10
able to have
seconds
someone on
remaining.
in the co-caster or the analyst role. However we can get someone on.
5
But
seconds remaining.
I've tried to set up this instant replay, and as a solo caster doing the observing and doing the production all at the same time, it is heinously difficult to get it to be timed right. I mean, it's easy enough to set it up so that it can happen. So like theoretically getting it to happen is fine. But since I'm doing it myself and I have to be doing the observing for Dota at the same time, I can't like edit the clip on the fly.
Dire team pick.
So I'm basically reduced to I can press a button and I can have the replay queued up. I can't choose when to have it. So so it's pretty frustrating when it doesn't come through for me. But eventually I think we'll either figure out how to make it work or give up on it entirely. But or I could just, get a production team of 4
10
people. We could
seconds
go that way.
remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
People want to cast and analyst and observe, Hit me up.
Dire team ban.
No, definitely not expecting anything like that, but it's a funny little challenge to try and get it to work as a solo cast.
10 seconds.
Didn't see the
remaining.
axe banned out either way, so interested to see if Colombia are going to pick that one up
5
early
seconds
phase here in this game, or maybe they'll hold off. We'll see.
Radiant team ban.
They're going to be ignored by Brown.
Radiant team pick.
Columbia picked up the Hoodwink as well. This is a hero we've been seeing a lot. Natural Mage Slayer buyer. Lots of people still go for Maelstrom on it. You don't really need to. I don't know why people think you need to go for this Maelstrom. You could go for like Mage Slayer and some more typical support items, and you actually do
10
decent
seconds
damage.
remaining.
Regardless, and Bushwhack still ends up being a very valuable spell.
5 seconds remaining.
But that's just my pub brain talking, I think. And Brown with the Doom. This is another one of those off lanes that really has taken over the popularity contest of the off lane. It's a hero that's pretty annoying to lane into with the Scorched Earth, and another one of the reasons that all the carries that are popular in today's meta have to be really strong laners, because it's easy to get kicked out. And Columbia going to be going along those lines, pick up the Treant Protector and Leech Seed gonna help out in that kind of lane, as well as the really all of the spells, I guess. Leech Seed, the Living Armor, and the Nature's Grasp.
10
Right?
seconds
Nature's
remaining.
Grasp. Whatever the Q's called. Excuse me, having the slow against Doom ends up being pretty significant. And Treant, still one of the strongest laning 5s in the game.
Radiant team pick.
Ooh, look at that. We're going to see Jex Tusk picked up. This is exciting. A little bit light, perhaps, on the control, especially with the Doom off lane. But Tusk Doom, not a weak lane, and they can always run Tusk 5 as well. And Doom Jex, or Doom Dark Willow,
10
is
seconds remaining.
pretty scary proposition. If you ever catch people out in the brambles, you can do pretty significant amount of damage. So as long as they're going to pick some kind of carry that's going to be able to either pair well with the Tusk, or that's going to be able to kind of self-sustain in the offlane, or against the enemy offlane, they'll be pretty good to go. And I'm excited seeing these support heroes. I think that this is going to make for a very interesting game coming out of Brown. These are both up-tempo heroes. Want to see rotations to the mid lane. Want to see lots of early kills coming out. And Columbia, kind of recognizing that, going to go for the Lone Druid. Want to dodge the Tusk in lane. So, see where they do decide to put it. If they run Tusk Doom, Lone Druid's going to be pretty happy. All the damage is going to be tossed over onto his bear.
10 seconds remaining.
And if they go the other way still, the hero is pretty far away, so you're maybe not the safest, but you're relatively secure in that lane, especially with Treant Protector able to provide you that barrier that you need.
Dire team pick.
Admiral Kunkka.
Ooh, a Kunkka. Columbia going for more tanky boys again this game too.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Wind Ranger at your service.
Interesting. So Brown going back to the Wind Ranger well.
10 seconds remaining. Radiant team
Or I guess
ban.
going back to the Wind Ranger. Am I insane? Sorry, this is what I get for not paying attention for like 3 seconds. I was actually, going over and
10
looking at
seconds
some
remaining.
of the scheduling for later on this week.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
I think I might be insane. Sorry about that. No, yeah, so Brown going to the Wind Ranger well themselves. Gotta love when I know what I'm talking about.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
That's what I get when
remaining.
Dire's on the bottom and Radiant's on the top. And then they flip. Anyway, yeah, anyone who comes
Dire
to
team ban.
a Cool Hands broadcast looking for good draft analysis is absolutely in the wrong place. Like, what are you even doing with with your life? I think my personal MMR goes down like 2,000 if I have to draft for an entire team. Always have captains to do that
10
for me.
seconds
it's
remaining.
better that way.
5 seconds remaining.
Slard are going to be banned out. You know what is still in the pool, by the way, Brown, and you might want to Might want to think about it. That axe. Kinda scary. Windranger, not a very high HP hero as well, and Blade Mail, Blink Call. Ringing any bells?
Dire team pick.
I do love, by the way, and I don't know if you've noticed, but Beastie US East captaining is drafting for Colombia.
Radiant
Buse.
team pick.
It's just the acronym. I never noticed that. I've seen him go by Buse like so many times. I never noticed what it was for. I think that's more telling about me than it is about him, but Brown Goat the Jug, I think you absolutely slam Axe here. I think there's no way you don't slam Axe here.
5 seconds.
Looked incredible last game. It's really good against Jug. It's really good against Wind. Wow, they're going to go Weaver, put the Lone Druid in the off lane, actually. No? Okay, they're doing some shenanigans, unless they're going to rotate their players around as well. But for now, theoretically, this is a mid lane Weaver, off lane Kunkka, and safe lane Lone Druid. This is the last orientation I'd expect these heroes to go in. I'm shocked they didn't go for Axe, and I'd love to ask about it after the game. I don't know if I'll get the opportunity to grab someone. But I'd love to ask why they didn't go for Axe here in this game too, just because it feels like if you find a call onto Jug and Axe, I mean, Jug absolutely hates immunity piercing stuns, because part of how you want to play the hero is just always be pushing your limits and being far away with the idea of spin TP. And sure, Kunkka deals with that pretty well, but Jug's a low HP hero who does some pretty significant right click, and the same can be said for Wind, so if you're able to find blink calls on them, it's not like last game where you have to get through 4,000 HP. You know, you're only getting through 1,800. But regardless, I guess a little bit concerned perhaps about running into a Tusk lane with the Axe. And just not being able to find any farm, but I don't know, part of me thinks that you could cut that wave with your support, bring it behind your own tower, find your first couple of levels, and then once you're on Vanguard, the Tusk lane really not that scary for Axe. Once you get your items, of course.
Prepare for battle.
Head over to the Dire, look over the brown heroes. Gonna go with the smoke early on, and Colombia again not coming out smoked, and I have a feeling when I go and click on their heroes, they're gonna have one in their pocket. Let's head over there and see. Is Hoodwink not gonna have one? Nope, they're actually not gonna bring a smoke out for themselves, but gonna have to hold that thought as the teams may just run into each other here. Red One Rose is gonna pop first, walks up the high ground, and it's gonna be an old-fashioned line dance as all the heroes gonna be collected up here. Hoodwink gonna be the first one to go down. DD Mega Nu doing a lot of trouble as well as the spin. Gonna be doing significant damage to the bear. And that's a plus 300. That went over to Tusk, if I saw the gold right.
30 seconds to battle.
402 gold in his inventory. And that's maybe more significant than a kill, because they already had the first blood. Don't think that because it's not the hero, that's not significant. It's going to be the first. The wave's just going to meet. Little pause for a sound issue, but get it sorted out. The bear is going to be just respawning when the waves meet. But, and here's the big but, he'll only have the one. So generally, I mean, you don't want it to die early on in the lane anyway, because it's quite a large amount of gold. But yeah, if you ever don't have the bear in the early game, you are just absolutely mode suffer. Stoic able to snatch away his bounty room, end up going 3 for 1 anyway. Stoic thinking about going forward for the kill. The acorn shot comes through, but not going to be enough damage, and back to lane we go. And yeah, it looks like Colombia going to be shifting around the positions their players are in, actually. So Stoic headed to the safe lane on Weaver. I think most likely it's because Beast US East does just play a significant amount of Kunkka. wanted to get this matchup into the mid. So we'll be throwing him over there. Getting some very nice harass out early on. Magic with the power shot, not able to dodge any of those right clicks. Took a pretty funky ankle and still did get hit by that first torrent. But able to farm up just fine under tower is Magic. Gets that early level 2. And will be doing okay for himself in this lane. I don't know if this is a crazy, incredible matchup for Kunkka. Like I was saying, I just don't really know what the idea was in forcing their heroes this way and going for the Weaver, but should be totally fine regardless. It's not like it's a bad lane by any means. Kunkka really under no threat from Lind, and I think you end up just trading farm and using the Tidebringers to push out the wave. Wind will do the same with the power shots later on. But a couple of nice denies for Magic early on. Ooh, down bottom. Bernardo falling a bit low. Shadow Realm, they're gonna have the vision, but it's not enough damage. A couple of couriers go down actually across the bot lane. There's 3 couriers go down across the game. One up in the top lane as well. Looks like these schools maybe not taking the hardline stance against animal abuse. The donkey's gonna pay with their lives. It's pretty significant gold too, by the way. Ever since we've switched to multi-courier, people kind of don't value the courier kills the same way, just because they happen so much more often, but 25 gold each across the team per courier, 2 minutes into the game. It's a 250 gold swing for punching those couriers down. Ends up being about a kill worth of gold early on. And let's go ahead and check out the Tusk, see what he did with that extra gold off the bear. Looks like some extra tangos and some mango as well. So, Redolent Rose playing the food enjoyer early on in this game. Still the shards, and they're going to set up the level 2 spin as well. DD Megadu doing a lot of trouble, this time on the main hero. The spin, it's going to be enough damage to take him down. The tag team did come through as well, so player 1950 blocked up by the wave, so Logico not able to find him there. And meanwhile on the bot side, it looks like Stoic was able to run down Gion. Now we're going to try and contest for the Lotus. He's going to get there first, so the Shadow Realm not going to really save Siliko here, and eventually will be run down by the Swarm as well. Actually purged off during the Shadow Realm. I'm not too sure how that interaction worked. So it looked like the bug did latch, but then immediately got broken off. Oh, nice shards up top. Logico, he's going to try with the kill here. The tag team and the spin. Is it enough damage? Yes. Just barely, but will be enough damage up in the top side. Seen this Jug Tusk lane start to go pretty well for the side of Brown. Off to a hot start with a couple of kills their way. 6 denies as well for Jug, so pretty happy up here. And a lane where Lone Druid maybe felt like the pressure wasn't going to be put onto him, that he's going to be able to sit back with the bear, but see just how the bear's getting punched down. They're going to have the Blood Grenade. There's a spin available as well, but not going to commit it. Down bottom, the brawl's still on. Gion this time wants forward onto Stoic, but being run down himself. Gonna be able to kill off the Swarm bug, but Stoic falling low. Still Siliko, only level 2, so level 1 Shadow Realm knew he wasn't gonna have the damage to finish off the kill. And all will settle. Take a look back into the mid lane. I haven't been here in a while. Magic falling a little bit low, but as the as the water rune and the bottle charges to work with, so gonna be able to heal up. Then that's just how mid goes. Always have regen and never really under threat. USC actually off the mark with that Tidebringer. A little bit awkward, but a much more active early game in this game too than we did see last game. There's already 6 kills in the first 5 minutes, and have to keep our eyes peeled towards top, as it feels like there's always some action up here with the Tusk Jug lane. But support's both going to be headed towards mid. A little bit early to support for those 6-minute runes, but trying to get position is what started off this kill zone. Redolent Rose looking. It sounded like a focus fire out in the mid, but didn't connect through. The X mark was there. And Redolent Rose still hunting, still looking for player 1950. Actually off the mark with the ice shards. No snowball to catch up either, but eventually with the tag team, looks like one more right click. Gonna do it. Juking through the trees. 1950 wasting so much time. But eventually the kill does go the way of the Tusk. Redolent Rose finds that one, and Beast to US East finds a double damage rune for his trouble. Headed down to the bot lane. Ships passing in the night here. It's down bottom, the dive was on. But Kunkka with the double damage rune in the bottle. Headed down here, not spotted out. Sees a nice camp as well, and looking for kills, not gonna find them. Instead, might just farm up this large camp before headed back to the mid lane, or maybe not. Just gonna head up with the TP. Still, Columbia do get the kill down there, so they're not going to be unhappy. Just Beast US East not going to be the most thrilled that the kills waited until he got down there, but didn't really involve him. Wrap play from Redolent Rose here, but not able to get all the way behind. Needed that level 4 for the snowball. Now going to have it, but DD Megadoodoo respecting that one, gets away. Magic, X mark up. Boat's going to come through. Beast US East catches him with the edge of the torrent, and it's going to be one dead Wind Ranger. Player 1950 did come in, but maybe just for moral support. It's the Bushwhack. Not needed. Another courier gonna go down, and the animal's really paying for it this game. Not GDQ, guys. We're not voting on whether to kill or save the animals. It did end up being another 2 Wisdom Rune game, but this time opposite of game number 1, so the 7-minute Wisdom Runes both going Columbia's way. Things will settle, I say, as Magic actually making the rotation down to the bot lane, 7.5 minutes, but with the Leech Seed actually starting to fall low, taking a lot of damage, is able to clean up the kill, but Stoic, he's going to dive underneath the tower, the level 4 Shikuchi, more than enough damage. And that's not a trade you want to be making, as Magic pays for his life and only takes down the position 5 in return. Meanwhile, up top, Beast US East able to secure the haste rune for himself with Magic dead, and will end up running down Redolent Rose eventually. Torrent gonna clip onto him, the Tidebringer there in a couple of clicks. Eventually, the Snowball gonna drag him back. Beast US East not gonna take any chances with this one. Still has the haste rune duration to work with, and does run down the kill. Holds on Boat for himself as well, and gonna start to put some pressure perhaps on the tower, or maybe head, yeah, he'll just stick around in this mid lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Up top with all the rotations we've seen. Hold that thought. Bot might be a little bit more interesting. Geom taking a lot of damage, has Doom available, but doesn't want to dump it out just now, and starting to fall low. Stoic chasing him down. Beast US East over from the side, gonna make sure the kill goes off without a hitch. Torrent gonna lift him up as well, and Geom, he's still running away underneath the tower, and he'll get out somehow. Beast US East now the target of the focus fire, and the damage, it's starting to come through with the tag team as well, but Beast US East, he's too tanky, he'll run away. Stoic now on the front again. Gonna be stunned up, and after all that, after the 4-on-3, no one's gonna die. And everyone's just gonna waddle back to the tower. Beast US East going home with the X mark TP. He'll be back to the bot lane, ready to put some pressure down here. Magic, no focus fire to work with, but they want the stack, I guess, is the calling card down here. The power shot, not going to grab the CS, and Beast US East, one more Tidebringer is what he's looking for. Does find it. Bernardo caught out front, though, and into Magic, going to be caught by the tag team. Ice Shards doing a nice job blocking off as well. The Snowball going to come through, but pulling Redolent Rose a little bit deep. Silly Eco not able to put the damage in, just level 1 Shadow Realm. Ends up being Magic, who just got whittled down on the backside, goes down. Now the X mark onto Redolent Rose as well. So messy little skirmish down there. Ends up 2 kills Columbia's way. And Magic really just kind of dying to infinite chip damage. They were playing around the stack, trying to snipe it with the power shot. It didn't come through. It's just super awkward. Not a fight you want to be involved in at all. in the meantime, haven't been really talking about top, where did have a little bit of a 2-on-1 for a while with the Lone Druid and the Hoodwink, making sure the top tier 1 tower did go down. And you're going to be working towards the Diffusal Blade for DD Mega Doodoo, but Logigo, top CS in the game, we did see, as might have switched to Net Worth a little bit late, but top CS, Maelstrom is online, and he's going to be pretty happy with his game. Did have to go into the jungle a little bit early, as Lone Druid, once he starts getting his levels, not a hero that you really want to contest into, as Jug, pretty reasonably low HP pool, and freed up Tusk to go rotate around. But now going to swap over. Lone Druid makes his way down to the bot side. They want to get pressure onto this tower, and it's going to be all of the heroes brought down here. Stoic still here as well. Player 1950 from the side, but spotted out and gets the bushwhack off, but to no avail. Now Columbia going to break back out and head back out to their respective lanes. Beast US East still had the shield rune in the bottle. That one was going to time out, so just able to chase wind away, and Magic's starting to fall behind a bit in this game, and Beast US East, he's going to get significant pressure here. Looking to secure the power rune again as well, and not going to be any attention put on by Brown, so Invis rune going to sit bottom, and most likely going to be bottled up, though Redwind Rose headed that way, but not going to be able to catch up. So Invis rune in the bottle, Magic chasing down to the bot side, Fusel Blade ready, and gonna find the kill onto Hoodwink, but the boat gonna be dropped over the top. Doom gonna be the target, not gonna be able to get off the ult. Izzy gets the wand off, and then the Doom, but it's onto the Spirit Bear, so Bear will eventually go down, but just gonna be a little bit of a gold bounty. Nice overgrowth, catches 2. It's gonna be kills as well, as Magic, again, starting to get whittled. Stoic finds the kill on the backside, up on the top lane as well. He's not even around you. Did TP up there to find farm and killed off Juggernaut in the meantime. And at the end of the day, we'll watch Magic slowly get killed off. Beast US East, he's caught up behind his team. Phase Boots on cooldown to Magic. Don't tell me he lives here. There's no way. Oh my goodness. They all got stuck behind the Diffusal Bladed Bear. 3 heroes just waddling at like 200 MS. But probably the bigger deal coming out of that entire bot engagement is that Weaver did find a solo kill onto Jug, who was up there in the net worth as well. 1950 looking for the snipe, not going to find it. Bushwhack. Gonna halt the aggression against him. This game is quite the weird one as we kick off. I mean, 13 minutes into the game, we've had a couple of those weird skirmishes where no one really dies, and it's gonna be another one where Giam looking to get back to the tower, see if he can't make it. Stun gonna come through with Beast US East, this time gonna be able to get underneath the tower, and one entangle gonna be there. We'll find him. Finally, the kills do come through. Logigo farming very deep here into the enemy half. This is a scary place to be. Logigo gonna spin and try and run away. Maybe he didn't have the timing on the overgrowth because... Oh, he actually doesn't have a TP available. Gonna have to be forced to pump the Omni Slash, but he's looking for the damage, not gonna find anything, and gonna end up going down as the rotation back through his triangle. Timed perfectly with a tower going down, so Beast US East, DD Mega Doodoo were both ready and willing to force that kill through. Ooh, overgrowth gonna be committed onto an illusion. Slightly awkward. But this game's starting to look all Columbia's. They're starting to take over the net worth. They're going to steal away some ancient stacks here, or at least attempt to. It's only a 2-stack, but it's a pretty deep incursion into enemy territory this early on into the game. Be forced to back away, as they do lose off Bernardo.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Still, Stoic is feeling pretty wealthy at the moment, out-farming Jug by nearly 1,000 gold. And Beast US East out of the mid. Not going for the early Ags and Shard build, instead Blade Mail into the Halberd. So going to try and deal with Wind and Jug that way through both the disarm and through the evasion. And you can't sleep on the evasion because Wind, if she wants to find the focus fire into Beast US East, it can be significant, the evasion, just to dodge a couple of those mana burn clicks. It's something that people don't think about against the Diffusal Blade, but he wants to get Boat off, he wants to get the Torrent Storm off in the future. Needs that little bit of mana to work with before it all gets burned away. And that's a pretty low mana hero to begin with. Every click counts when the Diffusal's going to be draining from you. Head over to the Wind, so I've seen her been fighting with this Diffusal Blade and working towards an Orchid next, so gonna continue to try and be active, doesn't want to play the farming game, but it can be kind of scary because 1 or 2 lost fights or missed engagements and you can start to fall behind on Wind. Oh, what a bushwhack. Finds 2, gonna try and set up into the boat as well. Drop down onto Geom, but for now, just trying to get the bear out of danger, back to safety. Megadoodoo gonna try and turn back around onto the Doom, but the bear falling extraordinarily low. It is gonna find the kill first, but will trade off its life. Redolent Rose caught out on the side as well, but Magic now trying with the focus fire, just out onto Bernardo.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
In the meantime, we did see Doom dropped onto Beast US East, but so hard to bring down this hero. He's so tanky with the Sange, and now Magic trying to get back underneath the tower, finds the Shackle Shot, and that's going to latch onto Stoic, so able to bail out and get back to the tower. Ends up being 2-for-1 trade, and things not as bad for Brown as they looked like they could have been, because it would have been so easy for 4 heroes to die there instead of 2, and then we're not talking about just resetting, we're talking about trying to come back from a pretty significant disadvantage. As it is, their triangle is still being invaded. The Halberd completed on Beast US East and wants to stay aggressive on the enemy half of the map. Redolent Rose looking for the snowball forward, but pretty isolated from his team, and Beast US East, well, like I said, he was up in the triangle. He'll walk over. So yet another kill coming through. 17-10 here. 18 minutes in, and maybe the siege gonna begin as DD Megadoodoo looking for the tower. The boat can be dropped down over the top. Beast US East now trying to find Doom. There's no Doom to work with, but Magic starting to get the click down onto Beast US East. Pops the Blade Mail. Magic knows he can't commit the focus fire onto Beast US East while that Blade Mail's available, for fear of not only killing yourself, but more importantly, being useless in the fight if you're just not able to click the one guy you need to. Still Brown. Maybe think about setting up here. They know that Columbia want to stick around. They want to pressure this tower, but the X-Mark, the dewarding trip, maybe a little bit too deep as Redolent Rose now in some trouble. Getting run down by the bear. The bear's still low HP, but do you really want to commit onto this? Well, for Brown, the answer is no, as they'll let Redolent Rose go down. Bear's still going to survive. Beast US East. I mean, look where they're playing. They're playing behind the tier 2 tower, halfway up to the tier 3. Finally going to turn their attention back to the tower. Get the bear working away, and it'll die pretty quickly. X-Mark just to hold Geom back, make sure there's no commit going to be dropped forward, but Magic, he's found the angle, found the focus fire onto the backlines, onto the right hero, but Megadoodoo, he's just going to be able to turn around with the bear and start to hit in. Magic, again, somewhat isolating from his team. They're just not able to find a commit, not able to find a jump. Geom, no angle into that fight. Veil, no Shivas, no Blink, so he's not able to get the Doom away, and Halberd did its job perfectly and canceled out the focus fire. Not able to take down DD Megadoodoo. Continuing to farm right up in the face of Brown. 6k net worth lead opened up, but feels like more than that as Logigo, he knows he's not able to fight here. Has to just continue farming, but again, hard for him to show on waves too deep in enemy territory because there's a couple ways for them to stop a spin TP, including the X marks the spot from a TP back from Beast US East. Thinking about setting up on him, they're going to pop the Doom as well as the Omni Slash onto the backside, and this will be a huge kill if they can get it off. Halberd going to come through and looking for him. There's not the move speed to catch up. Logico trying to catch up, trying to find anything that he can, but he's slowed down now. Bernardo in with the saves as well. The living armor healing him up, and Oh, what a disaster. Beast USC living through the entire Doom there. They're still looking for him on the backside, but it's Giam gonna end up paying the price first. 1-for-1 with player 1950, but Magic was looking for the angle on the back, trying to find Beast USC. Instead, eventually gets spotted out, and the X-Mark boat combo gonna come through. Magic trying to run away, but eventually should be going down here. There's no way you get out with your life, right? Answer there gonna be no, as Stoic was able to find Jug on the backside as well, and the support's not able to provide the control to take him down. To being a triple kill for Stoic, and still Eco, the only one going to be able to survive. As 4 heroes do go down. And Stoic going to pick up the Wisdom Rune as well. He's level 17. Where does the XP even come from? Weaver doesn't have an XP talent anymore. I remember playing this hero back when Weaver had the XP talent at level 10 and having this kind of XP at 20 minutes, so Stoic just having an absolutely incredible game. 9-0 and 4, and well, I guess that's where the XP is coming from. But up top of the net worth, all 3 Columbia cores sitting up there, ready to take away the enemy Tormentor as well. And now with the 10k net worth lead here, 22 minutes in. Gonna take the Tormentor, gonna pop a smoke, continue to play on the enemy half, and maybe we can play a little guess that win probability, because I think it's looking somewhat out of reach. Give a couple of seconds to get your guesses in. I'm gonna go with, what, 85%? I think it's where I'm gonna lock it in, 85% win probability for Columbia. So let's see what we've got. Oh, 94. A little bit higher than I thought, but I think technically I still win because I'm the only one playing. Columbia gonna head into the Roshan as they do actually TP Beast US East away to the top lane. He had the X-Mark, okay. He'll head over with this team. Scam does connect from Brown, but doesn't look like they're in a position to make the rotation to get involved against this Roshan. And slow and steady, this one going to be whittled down. Bit of a celebratory boat, going to be dropped over top. Stoic grabs the Aegis, not going to feed any godlike sprees away today. We're going to have a quick pause, deal with some of the lag, but yeah, Columbia turning it around from game number 1. I mean, this is looking pretty dominant. Not that they didn't get off to a good start in game 1, but 23 minutes and things looking pretty out of reach for Brown. Magic just not having a game that he needs to, and it's been hard for him to find kills onto supports. Now this kill going to be relatively easier, the Bushwhack going to be off the mark, but even if it had connected, would not have mattered. And you just see the fear, the immediate TP all the way home, just in case people were showing up at the tier 2 tower. Snowball not going to connect there, but Redl and Rose playing so far forward again. Stoic's going to hunt him down, and got a Blink Dagger on Tusk, but there's no team anywhere around here. He's going to take the damage. The Swarm going to come through. The TP, is it going to be enough? Needed one more gem in attack. Wasn't able to find it. So Brown, they're doing their best. They're trying to buy space, get the lanes out, get some split pressure, but unfortunately just not able to buy the most space. They're forced to use some TPs pretty quickly. In Columbia, well, this is one way to deal with the split pressure, is they're going to group it up and they're going to head down mid where the tier 3 is exposed. And it might just be a high ground siege because the Spear of Prayer is looking hungry for some towers. Yeah, they're even going to go with the X-Mark Spear of Prayer. TD a little bit far from the Spear of Prayer. Didn't let it hit for its full duration, but yeah. Just going to go ahead up to the high ground. Now the split is coming, the cutting the wave from Magic. Going to slow this push down, but for now, Not going to be backdoor protection available for probably the next around 10 seconds. They're going to be forced to use that secondary glyph. And the backdoor, yeah, finally will come in. No creeps in the base. I'm not sure they actually have the damage to take this through backdoor, even with the demolish on the Spirit Bear. Look at this, the Doom on the backside finds out onto DD Megadoodoo before he gets the split off, and yeah, he'll end up going down for this one. Did lose Bernardo to Windrunner over to the side as well, but that's the BKB committed. Stoic, though, thinking about staying in on this fight. Looking like he might take him on 1v5, and look at the bushwhack over to the side. Player 1950 just halts any aggression coming out of Brown. As the full reset going to be called here, and you lose a couple of heroes, but you get the tier 3 tower, and it was with backdoor already up. I mean, it's definitely not a win for Colombia, but it doesn't feel like the biggest win for Brown either, and it's not going to dissuade them from continuing to push with this Aegis once their heroes have respawned. Yeah, the high ground, not the easiest place for Weaver to fight. You want to be dancing around the fights, in and out, playing on the vision. Oh, Beast USEs, look at this, caught out. Magic taking a lot of damage from the Blade Mail, but eventually will be able to turn and hit, and the Omni Slash can be jumped over as well. Magic with the Wind Run, trying to survive. DD Megadoodoo fresh off the respawn, did make the TP into the mid lane. Not gonna matter, the Barrack runs forward, but out of the range of its master. Gonna cancel its TP off. So that one's a big kill, Beast US East. About 1,200 gold given over. And Brown, well, it's a pretty good start if you want to get back into this game.
Top tower is under attack.
Still 1 minute on the Aegis, but now sort of a question of whether they're going to be able to use it or not, because Gunka's still dead for a couple of seconds, and they'll need to get into position before they can really make a run at any enemy heroes. Still able to play on the enemy half of the map, but game's starting to look a little bit tighter. See the lines being drawn, head across towards the triangle, and Beast US East is interested. But and gonna end up having to consolidate, and they're gonna run in towards the mid. See the smoke actually headed down towards bottom from Brown, but gonna be forced to come back as their racks under siege yet again by the Spirit Bear. 22 seconds here on the Aegis. The backside Wind not able to find the kill, and Stoic up on the high ground, not really under too much threat. Gonna go in with the Swarm. They want this melee Rex, they find the Doom on Tomb, but 12 seconds on the Aegis, so he's just ready to die, and it's just gonna be the first life. 10 seconds was remaining on the Aegis, but it's gonna end up finding them the kill on Giam. Now the Blink Overgrowth, they're gonna find the initiation. Great fear coming in from Sillyiko, trying to push him back, and Logigo, he's in, he's trying to click away, gonna find the first one onto Tree and Protector, but now the Omni Slash actually just coming off cooldown, gonna go and bounces to the Bear. Not exactly where he wanted to be. Red and Rose end up dying in the middle of the team and bounced about exactly wrong on the Omni Slash there, Logigo. Not finding the damage onto the main heroes, and the Bear resummon was available. So the mid rack's gonna go down, the range racks next to fall, and will be eventually going down as well. The retreat comes through as well as Colombia gonna escape with their lives this time. Blink Overgrowth setting that one up, and Stoic knew he could play up on the high ground, ended up tanking the Doom. Gets full value out of his Aegis, and then end up cleaning up the melee barracks. Player 1950. Maybe in a handful of trouble, but Brown kind of hesitant to go forward. It's not the easiest kill to go on. You don't know who might be on the backside. But Gleipnir not able to hold them away. Eventually they are able to get in position on Brown and feel a lot more confident going forward. Down on the bot side, carries going to run into each other, and neither of them wants anything to do with the other. But Logigo gonna pick up the Aghanim Scepter. Pretty annoyed that the Omni Slash bounced wrong and killed off the Bear, so So it's fine. If my Omni Slash are going to be that short, I might as well have the Swift Slash and can feel normal. Redolin Rose again, just out of position here, and will eventually be caught out, I'd imagine. The snowball across in the blink, actually. Stoic was waiting for it, but it's pretty deep, and yeah, the Harpoon's going to come through. Outside of the base, but not able to find it there. Magic in the meantime. Trying to take down the tower, but the supports are here. Bernardo has the overgrowth available. Magic gonna pop the BKB, looking for player 1950, who did make the TP, trying to defend this tower. Will eventually go down, but over on the side, the tier 3 tower in the bot lane is under siege. Bernardo sticking around, ready to cancel TPs. Oh, not gonna see her. TPing back up on the high ground. Could have been a big deal. Drop the overgrowth there, and you might just have a full tier 3 tower after the glyph came through. Instead, not really showing like they want to back off here, and the tier 3 tower starting to fall low. A couple more clicks will take it down. The Linken's blocked out the Doom. Didn't block out the Doom, but there was no mana for the Doom. That's what happened, and now the Swift Slash comes through. Omni Slash can be dumped over the top. Support's going down. They're trying to spread the damage, trying to give it to everybody. Bear is going to go down as well. Again, the edge of the Omni Slash brings him onto the Bear, but this time they're going to find the Weaver. Stoic goes down, and that's 1,000 gold bounty headed his way. The 10x3 finally ended. The resummoned Bear is well in trouble, and will also go down. Brown absolutely inching and clawing their way back in. The tier 4 is taking a little bit of chip damage, but nothing too significant. So Columbia end up getting a tier 3. They end up getting a little chip on the tier 4, but they lose a lot in return. They lose Weaver for, it was a 1k gold bounty plus 832, so we died for about 1900 gold. That's pretty awkward. And then they lose 2 bears. Well, what can you do? I mean, I think it's just a little bit perhaps over-ambitious trying to go high ground and high ground and high ground. Because they've been making pretty good gains when Columbia's been making pretty good gains when Brown shows split on the map. They're able to just run the bear up, use the X mark, kind of poke and prod at the high ground. They've been getting the glyphs out, getting the tower damage. But it seems to me like they've just been sticking slightly too long in each of these sieges where, you know, there's kind of no need to take it now. You're doing fine in the game. So I don't know if they're just over-forcing a little bit. Like, that one was without Aegis as well. Roshan just spawning, so sitting ready and willing in his pit, but another interesting thing that I kind of noticed before and haven't really pointed out, but BCUSC's not buying the Ag Shard on Kunkka. Did go for the Halberd and tidal wave another disarm. Now, not as valuable against the, you know, now BKB'd Wind, against the Juggernaut, who's going to have the spin, has the Omni Slash. But it's just surprising to me. I've seen other people in Nace not go for this tidal wave. And generally, I'm tempted to attribute that to not being the most familiar with the hero or confident in using it, because the drag back is so incredibly strong, but it is easy to misuse this spell. But Beast US East has proven that he's, you know, pretty avid Kunkka player. So just a little bit interesting to me that he's decided to skip the Shard, because the Shard really does feel very strong to me. I know Kunkka's somewhat fallen out of the flavor of the month, but can't imagine that the Shard's not good. You know, it's just 1400 gold, gives you a whole extra spell, so it's not like the Lone Druid fetch. The Spirit Bearer, the Savage Roar one is good, but the fetch one is not so good. Huh, that's a mechanism up on Bernardo. I haven't seen that one get off, and Lepnirin working towards an Aghanim Scepter on player 1950. This is what I was talking about pregame, that I don't think you need to go these items on Hoodwink. I think you know, against the Doom. Maybe going some kind of Lincoln stacking could have been strong. Could have even liked to blink against some of these heroes so that you're able to position and find the wind with the Bushwhack on the back, but not typically the build-up for a Hoodwink, so I think it's just one of those heroes that you can build out of the box. You don't need to go a cookie-cutter route, and you still can contribute. I'm very surprised, actually, that with the Gleipnir Rush, there's no Mage Slayer picked up for the Hoodwink. Because it's one of those heroes that can apply it through the Acorn Shot. And they don't have a natural Mage Slayer hero on their team. Between Weaver, Kunkka, neither of them really looking to get into that item, and we've noticed that neither of them have it. Well, you've got a Mjolnir on Juggernaut. You've got, I guess it's a no Javelin route for Magic, but he's going to be building towards it eventually as he gets into the Bloodthorn. So there is magic damage to remove here. And Dark Willow as well, just pumping out damage with the Bedlam. Roshan gonna be started though, Brown. This is pretty bold. Gonna try and sneak this one out from underneath Columbia's noses. Smoke up on the back is coming, but looks like it might be a little bit slow as the Rosh already down to about half HP. Logico committing forward for it. Relin Rose with the blink, with the punch. Oh, look how fast he falls with MKB, but it's not gonna matter. He's gonna buy his team the space to take down the Aegis. Secure that for themselves. Now, Columbia, see if they can't find anything in return in this fight without the Tusk. But the Omni Slash on the backside is going to find DD Megadudu. Oh, just barely does connect onto him in the back. Meanwhile, Kunkka caught out by the Doom. Going to be kills on the backside, but just the supports go down for Brown and Doom. It is going to tick out these two USCs. So now just Stoic left alive for the Columbia side. Let's find the kill. A triple kill for him. Takes down the Aegis. It's more than enough damage, it seems. Looks like not quite healthy enough to try and take down Jug for a second time, but some salvation coming in the form of Weaver being able to clean up there, because a couple more clicks over and could have been a disastrous fight for Columbia. Stoic, another hero that I'm surprised that there's no shard on this hero. This is pretty much the farming speed item on Weaver nowadays, is the Aghanim shard. See heroes get it as early as, 15, 16 minutes if you can get 1400 gold to line up with a Maelstrom timing. Whatever first item that you do want to go. Or stomp off the mark there. So yeah, just a surprising lack of shards, I think, on Columbia. My eyes, and game absolutely inched back to, if not equal, well, it's pretty close. 1k net worth lead is all that Columbia is currently holding. They do have that first Rax advantage in the mid lane. And gonna be no Aegis for either side to work with for the next about 8 minutes, 6 to 9 minutes. And yeah, Beast USD wants to look into the heart next, so Torrent Storm not going to be on the menu. It's a very interesting way to play this, because the way you've traditionally seen it played, recently at least, is a full mode Chaos hero where you exist to have these tidal waves, the boats come through, you have torrents all over the place, and you're catching people who don't have BKB, you're knocking the supports up in the air, it's hard to engage into it. It's a form of area denial on your hero. And it feels almost like a little like Spirit Breaker in that regard, where your job is just to make chaos. But not going that route at all, instead going for damage and utility. Smoke gonna come out from Brown. We're grouping up over towards the mid lane. They want to run up towards top, where Columbia, once again, setting up for this X-Mark Spirit Bear play. And Brown gonna find the angle on the backside, gonna run into player 1950. Gonna pop off the smoke, but DD Megadudu, the Swift Slash gonna be kicked onto the bear. Bear kicked underneath the tower, and Thinking about just trying to take that one down. The overgrowth on the backside, but look at you go. Able to Manta it off. Now just going to start hitting down onto Bernardo. He's going to go down. Weaver silenced up in a lot of trouble. Caught by the Shackle. Will go down as well. It's 2 heroes dead. Buyback did come out from Tusk, and the smoke from the rest of the Columbia heroes trying to make their way away, trying to run away, but Giam is going to be looking forward. Has the blink available. 1 second. Does he want to use it? We get caught by the Bushwhack instead. Still on the backside, Redland Rose. He'll blink forward. Finds the kick out onto Beast US East. Now going to be running the wrong way back towards the heroes. Meanwhile, DD Megadoodoo was caught out on the front side. Beast US East eventually will be cleaned up as well. Run down and kicks out to the burn damage Giam was able to provide. So the blinks come through, and again, Columbia just up on the high ground, no Aegis. The wrap comes through, and Jug has proved that he has what it takes to come back into this game. The Omni Slash, Swift Slash, doing tremendous work, and probably a bigger deal there is the kicks coming out from Redland Rose. Been working on this Aghanim Scepter for a long time now. And Tusk feels fully online when he gets this blink, when he gets the Ags. Continuously drags people out of position. Started with removing the bear from the fight, and that's pretty big for 2 reasons. One, it's not tanking the Jug's Omni Slash anymore, which is very significant. The way we've seen his bounces, his luck is not that good. Watch it go. But 2, just completely isolates it from the fight, and the bear actually has a good chunk of damage this stage of the game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
Now Brown, 6,000 gold lead, and in the driver's seat here. GM up on the high ground, gonna be caught out by the Acorn shot, so the information is there, and Brown gonna be forced to back off just a little bit. Magic caught out by the X-Mark, the boat as well, but the BKB is going to be there, kick the bear away, just to make sure that Magic will be able to escape safely. Still Bernardo with the blink on the back. They're going to look for Magic now that the BKB has worn off for Arzai. Looks like they're going to let him back off instead, and Redland Rose is going to be the target. Stoic wants to hunt, wants to find him, knows this is the dieback, so the kick's not going to be in the fight for 80 seconds. Columbia doing a nice job there of just whittling the resources away. Eventually, with no BKB on Magic, they know they can't commit forward any further, and straight down the mid lane they come. Magic looking for the snipe over onto the side, but even with the Aghanim Scepter, they're going to be spotted out, X-marked up, and will be dragged back. No BKB to work with, but the Terrorize, it's going to catch on to everybody. The Bushwhack holding Magic in place, still going to end up run down, and the evasion. Well, it's delaying the inevitable, but the inevitable does come. 85 seconds on the deck, no Wind Ranger, and with the creeps in the mid lane, backdoor not going to be available, so the buyback is going to come out immediately. Jug doing his best to cut the wave, but not going to come through in time, so he'll TP back, but the melee barracks already falling. There's no glyph. Bernardo blinks forward, but no overgrowth, so he's just going to go down eventually at least, and Stoic taking a lot of damage, needs to try and run away, needs to dodge the brambles, but the Omni Flash, the back, it's coming through. There's no shooting to work with. He goes down. Sure, you get the racks, but you're going to lose your heroes. And a nice Shackle going to finish off Beast to US East as well. Oh, not going to save him. TP does come through up on the top side. Columbia at least managing to get the racks. They get the buyback from Magic as well, but still losing heroes up on the high ground for about the 4th time this game, and hold that net worth lead around 5,000. We're going to see the win probability edging back down. It hits that little elbow, and see how aggressive Brown do want to play it. Roche could spawn in 30 seconds. Oh, the kickback. They're going to find Hoodwink. Trying to take down the creeps in the mid lane, and silly eco. Aghanim Scepter up. Moonshard going to be next on the docket. Does actually have the gold for it as well. A little bit earlier than traditional for the Dark Willows to go this Ags Moonshard.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
But did have the Yules, does have the Shard as well, so not feeling the need for any more items. Gotta be careful not to lose the bear here. You really don't want to lose your only bear. That's actually the only bear for 50 seconds. Heroes can buy back, the bear cannot. So Brown probably don't know that, or they'd be up on the high ground right now, but instead respecting the respawn timers, and looks like they're just going to back off. Roche, incredibly fast spawn. I actually was looking more at the fight than at the Roche timer when it was coming up, but Roche number 3 will be available. Stoic trying to find his level 25. That third Geminid attack so impactful. He's going to be farming the bot lane, but in the meantime, up on the high ground, Relevant Rose did find the kick back, but ends up paying with his life. Still the doom out onto Kunkka, and without Weaver here, missing a whole lot of your damage, is going to go down. There's a buyback available, but Stoic, Shukuchi and Feared away means he's going to run all the way back to the fountain. Now DD Megadudu wants to go to town. Geom starting to fall low. With the buyback coming out from Beast US East, it's going to be the retreat for Brown. As they go up to the high ground, they pay a little bit of a price. See if Beast US East is able to find anything more. Was looking for magic, but instead, they know he's dying. They know it's a dieback here. If they can find him in time with the Omni Slash, trying to split the damage over the bear. It's going to bounce away, but it bounces back to him. Finds DD Megadudu as well. The main hero caught out. Oh no. What an absolutely enormous Omni Slash there. That one's gotta hurt, and player 1950 trying to run away, trying to juke and jive. Trying to waste their time as well, but headed towards the mid lane where the creeps they need to take down already are, so not gonna waste too much time. Magic heads over and finds the kill. So 3 heroes gonna be dead. Kunkka dead for 60 seconds as well as the Hoodwink. Stoic playing around this bot side, needs to be careful. There's a lot of heroes in the area, and will make his way away. Still no shard to work with, even with that level 25 talent for the extra Geminid attack. It just feels like he's missing so much damage in these fights. Gonna peek into the Roche pit, sees that it's available, sees the refresher shards up. Stoic can't solo this one. Come on, stay away from there. This Magic in the mid was looking for the wave, but he'll take Bernardo instead. Or perhaps in addition. And, ooh, they're going to try it with the Spirit Bear coming down here. Sneak the Roshan away. Now, they didn't take the last Aegis, so it's not going to roar. It's not going to announce that it's being taken. And perhaps a saving grace for Columbia. Careful with that courier you're sending out here. Don't give him any way to know that you're in the pit. As Tusk smoked up, is he going to spot the courier flying away from the pit? It looks like he did. He pings in here. His smoke breaks on the pit as well. Has the blink to work with. Gonna blink in. Kicks out the bear, but Stoic trying to finish out the Roach. Grabs the Aegis. Refresher shard somewhere. Refresher shard snatched up by Tusk. The bear gonna go down, and Stoic needs to get the hell out of here. Roshan's banner collected by Weaver, but the refresher shard over in Tusk's inventory for the time being. Red and Rose he actually gets cut, but still taking a lot of damage. Now Stoic in some trouble. Aegis to work with, but not able to get the Satanic off during the Omni Slash. Gotta try and stay alive here. Stoic taking some damage, pops the Satanic immediately, but the Swift Slash, the bash comes through. The boat, it's gonna latch over onto Jug, but Stoic, he's already so low, needs to just get out, get away. Survive with your life and live to fight another day, but Beast USD's not gonna be so lucky. He'll be the first casualty. 80 seconds on the deck. The bear trying to fight back, but not able to find any sort of kills, and will go down eventually as well. Hoodwink sticking around perhaps a bit too long as well, does go down, and DD Megadudu trying to get the split push, trying to do what he can without the bear, but Magic with the quick TP, he's not going to see this one coming. The Shackle, he's going to be able to find the angle, not even going to need it. The Bloodthorn, make sure that he can't get the ult off. Dead for 73 now. Didn't have a bear for 60, so he actually doesn't mind too much, I suppose. Creeps in the base, but they'll be dealt with momentarily, and Geom is escorting the wave. The double wagons down bottom. There's no buybacks on Columbia, and a 22k net worth lead opened. Aegis killed off immediately in the pit as well, so not going to have many tools to work with here for Columbia. It's going to be very hard for them to get in on these fights. And this will be the big one. I mean, first glyph going to be used, and without a tier 3 being taken, just have to check the mid and make sure that that was actually true. But yeah, the tier 3 still standing in the mid means they'll have a second glyph. Kunkka spawning in 5, but most likely gonna have to wait to fight until Lone Druid spawns with the new bear. Backdoor kicks in momentarily, and yeah, the glyph, I think the backdoor kicking on baited them into using the glyph there. Gonna end up losing the range rags regardless. X mark. Boat gonna be off the mark though. And again, not gonna have that one for the next 50 seconds, so looks like Brown with magic all the way back up towards the top side. Gonna just retreat, but yeah, scary proposition. You can see the Refresher Shard into Doom's inventory, so gonna have double Doom to work with as well as double BKB. Has to be careful with the mana, but should be able to juggle it as long as he's not spamming the rest of his abilities and the Shivas before the fight, I'd imagine. Needs about 700 mana. To put every button that he has, he needs his entire mana pool, like, to the brim, but you know, as long as he's not double Shivazing, he should be aware. It'll be okay.
Almighty money.
I still think Stoic needs the Ag Shard so badly. Like, so badly. It's so much damage that you give away, too. And in addition to that, it's the Satanic procs during the Omnislash as well that you can find. Just jumped over to see the bear going down, and again, no bear for 40, so... Yeah, look at the frustration. Lone Druid queues up the Refresher Orb for an extra bear. I can't imagine it's for extra BKB on the bear, though. Perhaps it could be, but... I think he's been playing so long in this game without a bear that he's queued it up for an extra bear. Columbia do still have room to grow. The Torrent Storm will be coming out, at least somewhat soon. 2,700 gold towards it. But it just feels so hard now to lock down Jug. I mean, Jug has played the early game where he was struggling, and now gonna be able to be the real man in this game. Abyssal Blade on lock, has the Swift Slash, even a Ninja Gear to work with, so he can be all across the map. Not too much danger for him anymore. And biggest thing that he's gonna have to work with is, you know, playing around the Overgrowth, making sure that he doesn't get caught out after the Manta with the Overgrowth, and then chained up into the boat and some kind of Weaver damage. But it's so hard for them to kill Jug off the bat. It's not a hero that can really jump on Columbia. Magico with the Swift Slash jumps in, finds the bear again. Bear did just get resummoned. This time able to escape up to the fountain. Stoic and Magic playing around each other. Shukuchi, the Lincoln's gonna get popped, and Stoic. Yeah, gonna have to back off of this one. Silly Eco. Working towards the Hurricane Pike now. Full core Willow, and Willow 25 when it comes up is very scary. Really, Columbia gonna need to jump the supports on the backside, because Tusk and Willow can be two of the more impactful late game supports in different ways. With the Walrus Kick, you really get people out of position. Ooh, Stoic looking forward. With the Disperser going through there. Oh, he even took the Ancient Guardian on the bear. Anyway, yeah, Tusk and Willow, for different reasons, are very powerful supports as you get this far into the game. The Walrus Kick, able to drag people into position. Stoic needs to be careful not to get kicked out here. We'll walk it off. But yeah, kicking people out of position, and then just the amount of damage that Dark Willow is able to pump out now with the Saghanim Scepter. And once again, Hoodwink gonna be caught off to the side, trying to get some split push going, but Not gonna find it. DD Megadoodoo maybe looking for some kind of stragglers, but instead grabs a bounty rune and loses yet another bear. Oh, or does he? It's running away. They've got the blinks, they've got the force, but it's pretty speedy with the Aghanims. It's trying to run away and it's still making it. So Wisdom Rune up on the hill. DD Megadoodoo, he might just go ahead and hit into the range racks a little bit. No, the ice shards are there in time. There were creeps up top, so the back door was off, which is pretty funny. I mean, would have been funnier if he gave up on the chase. The bear could have just taken racks, and that would have been kind of infuriating if you're Brown. Oh, another find. Tell me you didn't find the second resummoned bear. Oh, what a disaster. And DD Megadoodoo really unhappy this game. He's been playing the Fountain Druid for a while now too, and it's just not working out for him.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
And Brown could really be putting the pressure on. I mean, Roche, yeah, can spawn in 50 seconds now as the timer. Could have just spawned now, so we'll be aware of this on Brown, but they should know that there's no bear. I mean, 60 seconds. Magic up on the high ground, I guess. And he's gonna look for the hero now. He's done feeding on the bear. He wants the main hero, and the Bloodthorn is gonna pop. It'll take him down. 80 seconds, no buyback. Again, maybe the one saving grace is that there would be no resummoned bear anyway, but Stoic now trying to get onto Magic, trying to find anything he can, but oh, the Bloodthorn, now the Focus Fire going to be dropped over. Able to get the Force back to the Fountain, but not going to be able to defend their barracks. And it's going to be bot set for Brown as they make their way over towards the mid lane. Tidal Wave acquired for Kunkka. Has the gold for the Ags, but wants to save up the buyback as well. East US East, able to get out of the Swift Slash with the X mark defensively. And Lajiga was thinking about the tier 4 for just a brief second. Instead, Hoodwink gonna be caught over to the side. Bernardo finds the nice overgrowth down onto 2. Hoodwink trying to get away. She's gonna die, no buyback. Only hero on the Radiant with no buyback. Their only heroes are the ones who are dead, but still win. Ends up going down, 123 seconds on the deck. Now it's Jug. Maybe caught out. X mark. Gonna wait, and then drag him back. And he is all by his lonesome, still able to take down the Treant Protector, but eventually should be going down here as they've got the bugs on him. There's no TP. Stoic will eventually be able to run him down. They're gonna buy back on the win. They know they need to get in here and defend this, or they want to try and get in here and defend this. Oh no, not again, not the lone druid, not the bear. Well, at least the bear is gonna live this time. Aghanim Scepter gonna let it keep hitting, and they will take down Juggernaut. Buyback comes in from Jug. There are buybacks on Columbia. Don't overcommit this one, guys. Brown, take your lead and get out. Buyback from Hoodwink. They want in. They want to try and find Gion, but the BKB allows him to escape. And Magic now still thinking about going forward, looking for the Spirit Bear. This time with the Bloodthorn, looks like he'll take it down. There's not going to be a reset. Or will he take it down? The Purge comes off. It'll be fine. So that's two big buybacks on the Jug and the Wind that were committed here. There are buybacks on both Radiant heroes now. Oh, they find the Hex over to the side. Weaver caught out in a lot of trouble here. Can he get the Spirit, the time lapse? No, but he does have buyback. Beast USC's kicked out of position. Need to buy back on your other heroes, perhaps. Hoodwink, though, all the way up in the base. I mean, what are you splitting for? Beast USC's, he might go down here. He will. Has a buyback available himself, and he'll use it. Hoodwink taking down the tier 4 towers. I was mocking this play, but maybe it's good. Magic forced the TP back to defend it. Last tier 4 tower did go down in the meantime, but Beast USC's starting to fall. Treant Protector has the spawn, has the blink, has the overgrowth. Gonna commit it. Beast USC's able to get back to the fountain. Now underneath the tier 4 towers, the Doomy's actually dying through the towers. DD Megadoodoo, the Spirit Bear, it's gonna go down. Weaver's dead on the deck. 119, no buyback. He did commit that one already. And with the throne exposed, it looks like it might not matter as there's just not enough in the tank. Radiant, Columbia, they use the glyph. They're trying to get the creeps killed. They're trying to get the heroes killed. But Beast USC's, he's dead, no buyback. It's just Spirit Bear and Treant Protector. And the tier 4s are falling fast. Mega Doodoo just has the bear respawn. He's going to TP up top. It's a last-ditch effort. They're going to try and find it, but the bear not able to find anything. GG going to be called. So it will go down. I think maybe a little bit of a premature GG as they could have run in to the well, but Drone ends up going down. Brown take that one. Colombia, even with such a strong start, end up losing it through the mid-game. A little bit over-ambitious on the high grounds, and it ends up costing them. I mean, Dota Plus said, what, 6%? Early on in the game, some 20, 21 minutes in. And it comes all the way back. I mean, that's a pretty tilting loss if you're Colombia, but Brown able to stay strong and able to stick with it, so that's the series, 2-0. I guess that's that game's not coming up anymore. Brown with the 2-0 victory. That's going to be their second one of the series, so up to 2-0, and Colombia going to drop to 0-2. And we'll see later on in the season, I guess, if that one forfeit loss to start the season ends up costing them more significantly than they'd hoped. But thanks everyone for joining. It's been a lot of fun to do these series. I will have games tomorrow night, so tomorrow, Wednesday night, the regularly scheduled match time, going to be bringing you a double header if I can at all set it up. Most likely the way we're going to handle this is I'm going to do the first game at 7 from the East Coast Division, and then we'll jump straight into the West Coast game live and then hop into the lobby for Game 2 and Game 3 if Game 1 is already underway, because there's just an hour and a half. So 7 p.m. we'll be live here at Cool Hands, twitch.tv/CoolHandsDota. And then tomorrow, yeah, we'll be live with Georgia Tech versus Indiana, I think is what we're going to be taking tomorrow at 7. And then at 8:30, looks like we're going to have... What do we have? I think we've got the University of Toronto B team versus the University of Illinois. So be on the lookout for those. I think the timing should work out pretty well for those games. So do check those out. GG's to the teams today. And it's a pretty hard set of losses for Colombia, but definitely in it the whole way. And lots of fun games coming out of them. So I don't know. I mean, it's one that's going to stick in their minds, I think, especially this game number 2. Going to stick in their minds. And there's pretty good performances from everyone on the team throughout the series. I won't just say throughout the game, but throughout the series. Individuals played pretty well on Colombia and on both teams, don't get me wrong. End of the day, just a little bit more discipline from Brown, a little bit more cohesive as a unit, and showing pretty good mental stamina to come back from a game 2 like this, where they're down, you know, whatever it was, like 10,000 net worth at 20-something minutes. Just knew what they had to do. You know, make sure you're getting lanes out, let them throw up the high ground. Don't give up. Don't stop farming. Don't just make some, you know, smoke play out of despair and call GG at 20 minutes. But, you know, play for that 6%. And they found the way. They found the path forward and were able to win the game. So thanks, everybody, for tuning into the stream. Check me out tomorrow and the rest of this week. And we'll see you then. Till then, bye-bye.